Good morning, students. Namaskar. I am CA Ankit Sharma, your income tax faculty for your next 6 sessions of income tax. That is paper 4A. So, we will discuss in our sessions two topics, and these are practically topic, or we can say numerical topic. And these are income under the head salary and income under the head house property. We will discuss our topics and we will interact with each other also. There will be MCQs. I will also provide you some charts, so that will be really easy for you to understand these topics. But before starting, let's some things we need to discuss, because you have already, I guess, have 5 sessions in which you have covered introduction of income tax, rates of income tax provisions, some definitions of income tax, then residential status provisions, and income which do not form part of your total income, and special economic zone provisions. So I can expect a basic knowledge from you regarding the income tax, like what is previous year, what is assessment year, what is the meaning of person, individual, HUF, what is marginal relief, how to tax an income, etc. So these you already have discussed. So I can expect that you have already studied these things in your past session. I really want to thank board of study that give me opportunity to interact with the future of our country. So you are technically the future chartered accountants and the future of our country. So it will be really honored me to interact with you on this platform of ICAI, and not only me. I think you all should, thanks to the board of study ICAI, that they are providing free classes to all those students who actually want to study and might be not able to afford. So institute is finding good faculties for you. We can say best faculties for you from all over India. And they are providing you lectures, notes, etc. And that is very, very, very important. You should understand how much effort involved in these classes. We are the faces of these classes. You can see us, but a big team, a hardcore big team is behind the scene also. The technicians, the coordinators, etc. They are working really hard to provide you notes, lectures, etc. faculties. So always remember that only our institute is doing this. No other institute in this country is actually providing free classes to any of their students on this level. Okay. So now we'll move on to our topic. And before, it's my habit that we should understand there are some rules for the lectures and there are some guidelines. I hope you already have gone through that, because I've uploaded the notes on the portal yesterday. And I hope those students, those are sincere, must have downloaded that and go through them once. So please follow these guidelines for the maximum benefit of lectures. We all know discipline is the key to achieve any goal in your life. And I actually request you all, please follow these guidelines and it will really help you. Notes are based on, of course, study material beautifully drafted by our institute. So all the notes are actually covering everything which is in your study material. Fine. Provisions we are discussing for assessment year 23-24. We know what is the meaning of assessment year in previous years, so I'm not need to discuss it. All queries will be taken after almost 30 to 40 minutes of lecture. So that will be really help us to not divert it or not disturb between a flow of a topic. You can ask me your query you can send me your queries between the lecture, but I'll take all the queries after 30 or 40 minutes of a lecture, and do not worry. I'll explain each and everything. I'm not going anywhere. I'll explain each and everything. I'll solve all your queries. Do not worry. Just stay with me. Whatever I'm saying, try to follow it. Okay. Please focus during lecture and ask queries related to topic. That is very, very important. There are some students which ask queries, might be good queries, but these are not related to my topic. As somebody asked me, sir, app is not working. What should I do? Your app is not showing my name. So these kind of queries I am not going to take. Please ask the query which are related to our topic. Okay. Please try to take live lectures. There are a certain number of students who technically think that we will watch it later on YouTube. Please make a discipline that try to treat it as a class, as we generally do in our 12, 11, 10 school timings. So please make sure institute is not removing those classes from YouTube, but please make sure that you are going to take live lectures if it is possible for you. That will make a discipline. And there's a difference between an animal and a human, that we are disciplined. We need to follow something. So for a better life, you need to discipline first. Okay. Then kindly download notes before lecture for better understanding. It obvious because I am going to refer, I am going to teach you with the notes, and you should have downloaded it before starting of the lecture. We'll take MCQ test also. Okay. Now the 8th point, it's very important. If anyone want to ask any query in Hindi, like lecture is going to be in English. Okay. That is our language for delivering it. But if somebody wants to ask query in Hindi, then he or she can send me his or her query in Hindi, and I will answer that query in Hindi and as well as English also. All other queries will be in English only. Of course, our lecture will be in English only. Okay, I hope school, everybody understood. And this is my nature. Like I've been in teaching from almost 20 years. I'm teaching only income tax from last 20 years. And it's not only the teaching. I just want to give you something more than that. I want to interact with you. I want to make sure that you should understand what is our profession mean. I need to motivate you also, but that is also very important because technically study is a very boring thing, of course. We don't want to do it, but we need to do it because for our future. So every day I share a quote with the students, and this is the quote for today, and I hope it will make you understand what exactly is the CA courses. It's difficult. Of course, it is difficult. And that's why it is important. All the things in your life is important, then it is automatically difficult. And if it's difficult, then automatically it's important. So doing 12, doing graduation is not that important in life, but doing CA is important because it is difficult. So whatever is difficult in your life, that is important. Like earning money is difficult, so that's why it is important. So dream big, because your dream is, of course, to becoming a CA. So dream big, stay positive. That is very important. There might be situations when you will lose your confidence, when you think that it's very difficult to clear the examination due to any personal reason, etc., health issue, etc. But you should understand one thing, that you should stay positive. You have to be positive. Do not think negative. Just be negative for COVID test. Otherwise, in everything, you should stay positive also. Do not think that you can't do this course. There's a short time, so you cannot complete your course, etc. You will be able to do everything. Just stay positive. Work hard. That's a basic need of our course. You have to work hard for a certain period of time. And the most beautiful thing is enjoy the journey. You have to enjoy this journey because this time will not come again. There will be ups and downs. There will be things that will make you sad. There will be success, failure, etc. But you should enjoy this journey because at the end of the day, you need to be a CA. And when you will achieve at that milestone, at that time, when you look back, you will feel that, yes, you have done a great job. So the path is also important. So you should enjoy this journey. I hope it's clear. So let's do the good morning session first. Okay, Mr. Dhyanesh is saying good morning. Good morning, everyone. Then Mr. Petal Vadala Kojima. Hello, sir. My name is fine. It's not showing in the app. Do not ask these kind of query to me, please. Okay. Enki is good morning, sir. Lavish Singhvi is good morning. Harshita, good morning. Okay. Okay, Mr. Enki is saying, welcome, sir. I'm waiting for a class. I saw your class in batch 5. Even I was waiting to interact with you again, students, and I'm really happy to be here. Okay, and then Miss Sapna, good morning. Jyoti Jha is good morning. Rohit, good morning. GK is good morning. Harshit, Unnati, good morning. Good morning. Lavesh, Kushi, good morning. Okay, Lavesh is saying, good morning, sir. I saw your basic concept in previous batch. You teach amazingly. Thank you so much. So I have already taken the basic concept classes of the lecture 1, 2, 3 to 5 in my previous classes also. Fine. So first time I'm taking the salary and income from house property lecture. This is going to be a very good journey because I love practical provisions, and students think that salary is very difficult, but nothing is difficult in this world. Nothing. If you can make a rocket, if a human can make a rocket and go to the moon or space, what is difficult? Nothing is difficult. Studies can be boring, but that is not difficult. And we can make it interesting also. And I'll tell you how you can make your study interesting. We will discuss about it. Okay, notes have been uploaded. Kindly check on the portal. I've uploaded the notes yesterday. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Oh, a lot of students are good morning, so I cannot take the name of everyone. So good morning to everyone. And now we are beginning our journey for next 6 sessions. So let's moving on to the notes directly. Fine. I have covered everything in the notes. The whole study is covered in the notes. So you can refer these notes for your theoretical provision, for the practical provision, etc., etc. And I try to make it very interesting. So you will feel good when you study. Fine. So this is the way I need to teach you that you should feel the interest as well as the knowledge, of course. So we are now on income under the head salary. That is assessment year 23-24. There's a quotation also for you. Confidence may not bring success, of course, but it gives the power to face any challenge. So just face the challenge of becoming a CA. And I believe you all can be a chartered accountant. Everyone. If you follow the correct path, the correct guidance, and you will put your effort, you will be a CA. Later or sooner, but you will be a CA. And that's only the matter. So income under the head salary. And now the first thing is what is the meaning and applicability. So generally, when we say that I'm earning a salary income, or if I say that I'm going to pay someone a salary amount, under income tax, it's not the word salary which make it taxable under the head income under the head salary. Like the Shakespeare said, what is in the name? The same thing is in income tax. It said no. If I'll giving 10,000 rupees to someone and I pass the entry in the books, salary account debit to cash or to bank, it does not constitute it as salary under the head income from salary for income tax purpose. Like for example, let me tell you, if I went to a doctor and I pay him 2,000 rupees for his advice, etc. Fine. And I came back and in my accounts, I wrote that salary account debit to bank for that 2,000 rupees. And narration, I refer that payment of 2,000 to doctor for consultancy. And in my accounts, I show that as a salary. But this is wrong. Income tax said no, this will not be treated as salary. So when a payment or an income will be treated as salary. So there is a concept which says, write it down, every payment made by an employer to his employee. The basic word is employer and employee. So if the payer, of course, in every payment, there is a payee who is receiving and there is a payer who is technically paying. So if the payer is employer and if the payer is employer and if he is employer, and that is called payer, and the receiver is who is a payee is employee, then the payment will be treated only as a salary income. Understood? So if I am an employer and I am paying any amount by whatever name called to the employee, then that amount will be considered as salary in the hands of the payee. So when I'm going to a doctor and I'm paying 2,000 rupees to him, so technically he's not my employee. We will discuss what is the meaning of employer and employee also. So that amount cannot be treated as salary. That can be a fees, etc., but cannot be treated as salary. Fine. So every payment made by an employer to his employee for service render would be chargeable to tax as salaries. Before an income can become chargeable under the head salaries, it is vital that there should be exit between the payer and payee the relationship of course, employer and employee. So if the relationship between a payer and payee is as employer and employee, then that income will be treated as salary. I've explained it also in simple words. In other words, no income will be included in the head salaries if there is no relation of master and servant exist. Whenever we heard the name that is servant, so we think about our maid, sweeper, the person is sweeping in our house and making food, etc. So that is not the exact meaning of servant. That is a picture we have from our birth. Servant means who serve for you, who do some specific work for you. So if I am in a marketing manager in a company, I am also a servant in a company. If I am in a bank and working as a cashier, I am also a, of course, servant of a company. So servant means who is going to serve, who's going to do some specific work for you. And that specific work has been assigned by, of course, the payer. If I am a driver and I will decide where we need to go, then he needs to obey my order. So whatever I'm paying to him, I'm a master and he is a servant. So that payment constitutes salary because master will be treated as employer and the servant will be treated as employee. So when you have power to order someone to do a specific work, then this relation exists. That is called master and servant. And in technical way, we called it employer and employee. In other words, any income will be included under the salaried income that is paid by employer to his employee as a master gives to his servant. The essential character of this kind of relation is that one payer gives the instruction and the other payee will obey that. So I hope it's clear. Any income will be treated as a salary only if the relationship of master and servant, what we call it, like an employer and employee exists. So if this relation exists, then the payment will be treated, of course, as a salary. That is our employer and employee relationship diagram. You will feel interesting when you will see cartoons or these kind of images. It will impact, it will technically freeze in our brain. So that will really going to recall you when you need to remember what kind of relationship. You will remember this pic and you will remember that yes, that was a relationship we called that employer and employee relationship. Now, example one, Sujata, an actress, is employed in Chopra Films, where she is paid a monthly remuneration of 2 lakh. She acts in various films produced by various producers. The remuneration for acting in such film is directly paid to Chopra Films by the different producer. So in this case, whatever Sujata is getting, that is called the salary because the relationship of employer and employee exists. Because Chopra Film directs her that in which movies she need to work. And Chopra Films receive technically payment for different producer and paid Sujata 2 lakh rupees as a monthly remuneration. So that income will be treated as salary income in the hands of Sujata. Second example, salary paid to partners by a firm will not fall under the salary but TGBP head. So if you're a partner of a partnership firm, so are you a servant of a firm? If there is someone who's going to order it, of course not. You must have been studied that in accounting, that is salary to partners, interest to partner, etc. So that is also named as salary to partner in accounts. But is that salary also treated as salary income of partner? The answer is no. Because technically, partner is the owner of the firm. There is no one who's going to order them. So that salary is only salary for the purpose of accounting, but income tax does not treat it, that income as a salary income of a partner. That is treated as the business income of partner. Clear? Now there are some clarification, very simple clarifications. There might be a full-time or part-time employment, it does not matter. It will be treated as salary, whether it's a full-time or a part-time employment. You can read it very simple. Foregoing of salary. Once your salary accrues, you are doing your job in some company and salary due. Then after receiving it, if you transfer it to someone, it does not matter. That is going to be taxable in your hand. Once salary accrues, for example, I am working in a company and after 3 months of working, they paid me 1 lakh rupees as salary for each month. So I have received 3 lakh rupees. And then out of this 3 lakh, I have paid 1 lakh to someone, but I waive it. Even then, I need to pay tax on rupees 3 lakh. Once it's accrue in your hand, then it's going to be taxable. That is called application of income. I believe in the basic principles or basic concepts, you have been, of course, taught application of income and diversion of income. So application of income is always taxable. So if you once received the salary or it's accrue in your hand, then it's going to be taxable. Whatever in future you waive it or not, it does not affect you. Surrender of salary is a different concept. However, if an employee surrender his salary to the central government, it's amazing. If you accrue salary in your name and you give it to anyone else, then it is going to be taxable. As a foregoing of salary, you cannot escape your tax liability. But if you give your salary to central government under section 2 of Voluntarily Surrender of Salary Act 1961, then that income is not going to be taxable in your hand. For example, if you have 3 lakh rupees income and you pay 1 lakh to someone else, then 3 lakh is taxable in your hand. But if you have 3 lakh rupees salary and you pay 1 lakh to this act, only this act, remember only in this act, then there's only 2 lakh rupees is going to be taxable. Salary paid tax-free. There's a concept of tax-free salary which says, like I have 10 lakh rupees salary income. So what will be my tax liability? That is 1,12,500 plus cess, etc. Fine. So if I am earning 10 lakh rupees salary income from an employer and my tax liability 1,12,500 plus cess, assume 1,14,000. Just assume it. An employer say that we are paying you 10 lakh rupees as your salary, and whatever tax will be upon it, we will also going to reimburse it. The tax is also going to be paid by the employer. So they paid me 10 lakh and the tax liability is, for example, 1,14,000. So now they're also paying me 1,14,000. So that tax which is paid by employer will also be treated as my salary income, as a perquisite. What is the meaning of perquisite? How it works? We will discuss it later. So these are theoretical provision. You can read it. And the point number D, which is salaries paid tax-free. There's a concept of perquisite, etc. That will be discussed in detail in our next notes. Place of accrual of salary, of course, these concepts have been also been discussed in residential status concept, in which there was a provision of incidence of tax, in which you might have studied that income arises in India, arises outside India, sort of. The same concept has been shown over here. It says under section 912, salary earned in India is deemed to accrue or arise in India. Remember the concept of income deemed to arise, etc., which is in your, I guess, chapter number 2. In India, even it is paid outside India, or it is paid or payable after the contract of employment in India comes to an end. So if an employee is paid pension abroad in respect of service rendered in India, the same will be deemed to accrue in India. Similarly, leave salary paid abroad in respect of leave earned in India is deemed to accrue or arise in India. So these concepts, I believe, I assume you have already discussed in the last session. So I'm not going to take them in detail. So now moving on the technical part, the practical concept of salary heading. And that is my ideal format. If you need to solve the salary numerical, salary practical question, then we need to calculate how to find these amounts. There's a format, there's a basic format, which is there. We need to find the basic salary. Then what is the meaning of basic salary? I'll explain it to you. Basic salary generally means the salary which is due during the previous year. The salary is which is due during the previous year. We technically called it basic salary. So what is the meaning of basic salary? That is salary which is due during previous year. So your assessment year is 23-24. So previous year is 22-23. So up to, we can say, 31st March 23. So basic salary means whatever salary in a previous year is due up to 31st March 23. That is called your basic salary. For example, I have worked in an organization for 7 months in previous year 22-23. For 7 months, sorry, not 7 years, 7 months. In a previous year, I worked in an organization for 7 months. Then my basic salary will be 7 months salary. Due means how many months you have worked in there. So basic salary concept in detail, we will discuss after this format again. Advance salary means the salary which is received but not due. If you received some salary which is not due, that is called advance salary. For time being, we can say which is received but not due. So the salary which has been received but not due, that's called advance salary. Arrear of salary means salary received in previous year, your 22-23, but it relates to some preceding year salary. So it does not relate to my current year, but is received in this year, but it is technically connected to some preceding year. And I have received it due to some retrospective effect. That is also a technical provision. What is technically an arrear of salary? Like basic salary, easy concept, I'll discuss. Advanced salary in practical, we will discuss. Arrear of salary is also a very simple concept, but we have a specific provision for it. That is section 89. And by the end of this chapter, there is a last concept we will discuss, section 89 provision. That is relief under section 89. And at that time, I will discuss in detail what is the meaning of a arrear of salary. For time being, you can understand it like this. If any salary which received in current year, that is my previous year, but it is technically or generally related to some preceding year. For example, there is 1 lakh rupees received by me in previous year 22-23, but it relates to previous year 18-19. If it is related to previous year 18-19, then how I received in or why I received in 20-23, that is the confusion that I will clear. Just relax, just stay with me. I will clear it when I will teach you section 89 relief. If I'll discuss it over here, you will be get confused. Just over here, I'll explain each thing one by one. Okay. Then basic salary, advanced salary, area of salary. Then we have taxable portion of gratuity, pension, encashment of earned leave, etc. These are technically compensation or one-time payment, what we received after our retirement, etc. So these are also going to be taxable. So basic salary can be per month, of course. Advanced salary is a lump sum payment, of course. Area of salary also a lump sum payment, and these are also technically a lump sum payment, except pension. Pension is technically received after retirement per month. All other like payment of gratuity, encashment, these are one time. What are the gratuity? What is pension? What is encashment of earned leave? We will discuss when these topics will be in our future notes one by one in detail. Fine. Then we need to find out the fees, bonus, commission, profit in lieu of salary, etc. If you are receiving some commission on your target achieving, sales target achieve, of course, or you're receiving bonus, Diwali bonus, etc. This is also forming part of our salary. Then we need to find taxable portion of allowances. I'm not discussing what is the meaning of bonus, commission, gratuity, allowances, because these will be covered one by one later. Right now, I'm just showing you that what performer we need to solve a salary question. We need to find the basic salary, we need to find area of salary, we need to find advanced salary, portion of gratuity, and remember, in every question, you need to find all these 11 or 10 points. That is not necessary. Might be in question, there is no area of salary, no advanced salary. Might be there is a no bonus, no commission, no allowance, only perk. So it is not mandatory that in a single question, you need to solve all these points, but out of these all points, most of the points can be asked in a question or some points can be asked in a question. So we need to find out each and every point, how we need to calculate it. Okay. Then point number 7 is taxable portion of provident fund provision. Employer's contribution to RPF, that is a recognized provident fund. What are these things? Definitely we are going to discuss later. Then the very important point, taxable value of perquisite. Perquisite, facilities, amenities, benefits. Yeah, same thing almost. So there are some perquisites also. We need to find the value. Again, what is the concept of perquisite? Do not ask me what is the meaning of perquisite, etc. One by one. This is our whole chapter. Almost in next 40 pages, we will discuss only these things. These are the points we need to discuss in our whole salary chapter. Then 9 point is called gross salary. The total of point number 1 till point number 8, that is called gross salary. And now we have 3 deductions. Out of this gross salary, there is standard deduction. We will discuss it later, of course. Entertainment allowance deduction, we will discuss it, of course, and professional or employment tax deduction. After deducting these 3, what we will get, that is called our salary income, that is our answer. So in examination, we need to find technically the net salary or taxable salary or salary chargeable to tax. And to come on this point, first of all, we need to know how to solve these points one by one. You might be seeing that over here on some point, I have written M. And these are NM. So these are technically monetary payments. M refers to monetary payments. And these technically refer to non-monetary. Taxable portion of employer contribution, etc. It's accrued. So technically, these all are monetary. So I have written M. And these are technically non-monetary in general cases. So these I have written NM. So NM stands for non-monetary and this M is called monetary. What is monetary, non-monetary difference? Let me tell you. If I am employed in a company and company says that from your residence till office, whatever is your conveyance expenses, we will pay for it. Whatever is your transport expenses, we will pay for it. 2,000 rupees per month, and they pay me 2,000 rupees extra per month for that transportation expenses. So they are paying me in cash or via check. So that is called allowance. If we are receiving any amount for our expenditure in monetary form, that is called allowance. So that will be called transport allowance. But if companies say, no, we will not going to pay anything for your transportation, but we will send our cab at your residence, it will pick you up and drop at the office and vice versa after your job time. In that case, they are not providing me anything monetary, but they provide me a facility. And then facility is called perquisite. So these are differences basically between allowances and perquisite. Allowances are always monetary and perquisites are always non-monetary. So this is the technical summary of all future provisions, what we are going to discuss one by one. Okay, so do not get confused. If you are confused on any point, what is the meaning of gratuity? What is employer contribution to RPF? What is this 12%? What is this 9.5%? What is area? I will discuss each and everything. Just relax. Whatever I'm saying, just focus on that. And one by one, everything will be, of course, discussed. You will see everything will be uncovered one by one. Just relax. So first point was, to calculate income under the head salary, 4 main components are as follows. Technically, whatever we have discussed in above table, that 10 points, I have covered in 4 major categories. So these are also the small part of the summary, what we have just seen above. So whenever you are at home, you might be listen from your brother, sister, parent that they are getting salary from some organization. And salary is coming 50,000, 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. So it is not only the salary what technically they are getting. Look, there are 2 kinds of organization. One is small organization in which you work and they say, we will pay you 10,000 rupees per month. That's it. We will pay you only 10,000 rupees per month as your salary. Now that is only basic salary. there is no allowances, there is no perquisites, there are nothing else. Only a fixed amount you will get because it's a small organization. 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, that kind of salary. But in a good organization in which you are going to do job after becoming a CA, or if there is a big organization, if you serve there, they will pay you a total amount, for example, say 80,000 per month. If your any cousin, brother, sister, parents is getting that kind of salary, like 80,000, 90,000, 50,000, then that is not only the basic salary total amount, what you are thinking it is. It's a, of course, it's a combination of these points. Not all of them might be, but some points. So technically, there are major 4 components which will constitute your salary. And you will see these are all the same components we have discussed in above diagram, above format. Like the 90,000, 80,000 is not only the salary. There are some might be basic salary, advance, arrear, commission, bonus, etc. Generally monthly. Basic salary is generally monthly. Commission might be also be monthly. Bonus not monthly, of course. So there are some amount which can be monthly, but there are some which can be one time also. Like allowances generally monthly and they are monetary. So if your parents are receiving 90,000 per month as a salary, you can ask them for their salary slip. There's one thing that is called salary slip, and you will find it out. Then there is basic salary. There are written some allowances also in that component of 90,000. There are compensation and profit in lieu of salary. These are generally received after the service and generally the one-time payment, except pension. We will discuss one by one. What are these? And perquisites, these are non-monetary and these are also generally monthly amount. So these 4 components technically constitute the salary what your parents, sister, brothers are receiving. So if somebody says you that he's only receiving 15,000 per month or 20,000 per month, so how you will come to know that it's only the basic salary or there are all component also, other component also? So you should ask from him or her his salary slip. So if there is a single amount, then it means there is only basic salary exists. And if there are multiple, then you will find out that these are either allowances or perquisites or a commission or bonus, etc., etc. So that was the summary we just discussed. Now, one by one, I will discuss each and every point. Okay. So I guess you must have seen, must have sent me some queries. Let's see your queries. And after that, we will continue our topic. Okay. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay. Somebody is saying, who is this? Shruti is saying, sir, you're teaching very good. Thank you. Shukriya. Okay. Kotresh, I love the way you're teaching, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Kotresh. It's an honor to teach you all guys because generally people say we cannot see our future or we cannot interact with our future, but I can do that because I'm interacting the future of our country. So this is so good to feel actually that I am interacting with the future of our country. Okay. Okay. Sankaran, SRO, since there is change in method of teaching, uploading of notes, I could now download, print out. This is my first time attending class. From next session, I will get myself prepared. No problem. There is always a starting point. It's never late. Okay, it's never late. You can start your studies from day 1 from now also. There is never late. But you need to understand, whenever your examination will be there, you have to complete all your classes at least 3 months before or 2 months before. And we need to do at least twice the revision. This is my advice. In every notes I write this, revise twice. That's my advice to make you wise. So without 2 times of revision, there is dicey that you might be able to clear the group or not. But if you're going to complete once your complete study and then 2 times of revision, that will really a high probability that you will clear your group, whether it's your intermediate level or final level, it does not matter. Okay. Branti Doshi is asking where we will get notes. On portal, I guess you'll get the notes from the Board of Studies app. Download it and you will get the notes. Okay, next is okay. Okay, Yatiraj is asking, can one have more than one employer and employee relationship? In Hindi, please. हाँ, यतिराज, आप 2 जगह, 3 जगह, 4 जगह भी काम कर सकते हो. आप 2 जगह पार्ट टाइम भी जॉब कर सकते हो, और इन दैट केस आपके 2 एम्प्लॉयर भी हो सकते हैं. उन दोनों की सैलरी कंबाइन करके हम सैलरी हेड में टैक्सेबल करेंगे. मल्टीपल एम्प्लॉयर इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. ओके, देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ मून लाइटिंग जो आजकल काफी चल रहा है. मून लाइटिंग इज द सेम थिंग. ओके ओके, नेक्स्ट इज Shruti is asking, sir, so you pay doctor fee, that is not salary of doctor. Exactly. Whatever we are paying to doctor, that is not salary for doctor. It's a fees. Like I'm a chartered accountant in practice. So if my client comes to me and he gives me payment, so that payment is not technically salary for me. That is my fees, my business receipt. Okay. Next is Lavish is asking, those who work in a factory or building construction for daily wages, they work for 1 week or months and leaves, they're treated as salary. If there's a permanent contract with them, that will be treated as a salary, monthly basis. And technically, those type of contract, if we are just hiring for someone for 1 or 2 days, then it's not salary, but it's a continuous contract with the contractor, and it's paying monthly basis, and that is a permanent kind of labor for him. Then it will be treated, might be treated as a salary or wages income. So wages and salary, both is taxable over here. Okay, next is due. Lavish is asking, due means which is accrue. Due means accrue. So if I'm working somewhere, my salary is accrue there. That is called due. Okay, I've told you what is the meaning of N and M. M is monetary and NM is non-monetary. That was I was saying. Fine. I'm teaching from last 20 years. I know whatever your question will be, what you're going to ask. So before completing the topic, if I'm discussing something, before completing that topic, I will going to explain each and everything. Just relax, have patience, enjoy the study. You will get everything. Okay. Okay. Akash Bhai Joshi is asking, sir, what are deduction written in the salary slip? We just discussed standard deduction, etc. There are peer deduction also. We will discuss it later. Do not worry. Okay, how many classes you take? Can you take remaining all classes? Amaljit, this is not in my control. Board of Study decided that which faculty will take which classes. Fine. You should take classes. Faculties, whatever faculty is coming, they are good. You should focus on your classes. You should sincere in your study, and definitely you will get what you need to achieve. Okay. Okay. Priyanka, okay. No query. Okay. Teaching technique, good. Thank you. Remaining lectures, that is not in our hands. So whatever we have, just enjoy it. I will take remaining classes or not, just forget about that. Just live in the moment. So whatever we are doing, we are taking salary classes. First of all, you should go through these classes. Whatever will happen in future, that is not in our or your control. So whatever we have, just try to focus on that. Okay. Wages, salary, difference, income tax, wages, salaries are same. Area of salary, I told you that we will discuss area of salary when the section 89 will come. So there's a concept of relief, which is on area of salary. At that time, I'll discuss the concept, the meaning, and the concept. That will be really easy for you to understand. If I'll discuss it over here, that will making you confused. So just wait, just relax, have patience. Okay. Notes is not available in the portal. It will be, I guess, on a Board of Study app. I have uploaded it yesterday. So kindly download it. Other students already downloaded it. Okay. So moving on further, now the concept basic of charge. One by one, we will discuss all the points what we have just seen in our summary part. Charging section is 15. There is a charging section of every head of income. Like basis of charge, that is, it will tell when salary income is taxable and how that is going to be taxable. So section 15 deals with the basis of charge. Now let me explain you. So we are discussing technically Income Tax Act 1961, income under the head salaries, section 15, what we are going to discuss. And section 15 says, what it says? It says, that salary is taxable on due or received. The basis of taxability is due or received, whichever is earlier. Or in numerical way, we can say whichever is higher also. So salary is going to be taxable. We are talking about the basic salary, advanced salary, etc. So salary is going to be taxable on due or received, whichever is earlier, or we can say higher. For example, if Mr. A gets a job on 1st January 2023, we are talking about the previous year 22-23. So what I am saying, if Mr. A got a job on 1st January 2023 and his salary is, basic salary is, for example, 1 lakh rupees per month. Okay. Now we need to find out that up to 31st March, because our previous year will be end on 31st March 23, case 1. We need to calculate the taxable salary up to 31st March 23. So he joined the job in January and till 31st March, that means he worked for 3 months. So there is no allowance. If there is no allowance, no perquisite, nothing extra, there's only one payment that is called 1 lakh rupees per month is salary. In that case, his basic salary will be 3 lakh rupees. It's very simple. Of course, this simple kind of question is not going to come in your CA because it's CA, not BA. Okay. So the 3 lakh will be called as basic salary. Why? Because 3 months salary has been due. So if I'll taxable due or received, whichever is earlier. So whatever is due is 3 lakh and received is also 3 lakh rupees. So 3 lakh is going to be taxable. Clear? Case 2. If he joined the job on 1st January 2023 and his employer paid. Now, see this case very carefully. Employer paid 7 months salary. Next 7 months salary in advance on 1st January 2023. Like employer liked the employee very much. And he said, fine, I'll hire you and I'm going to pay you 7 lakh rupees on 1st January 2023. And that is your 7 months salary. We are going to pay you 7 months salary right now in advance. Now, how much amount is going to be taxable for previous year 22-23? Again, we are working for only 3 months, January to March. But now we will use formula. This is due or received, whichever is earlier. So now if I'll write due salary or received, now things will be changed. Due means how many months you only work in that organization in your previous year. Accrue salary. So he works for January, February, and March. So technically due months are only 3. And how much month salary you receive? That is technically 7 months salary you received. So technically whichever is higher or earlier, we can say 7 months into 1 lakh. So his taxable salary is 7 lakh rupees. And this is for previous year 22-23. It's very simple mathematical calculation. There is no difficult thing. It's very simple. So this is going to be taxable. But listen me carefully. Now the things change. This 7 lakh is going to be taxable. I have written it 70 lakh, sorry. This 7 lakh is going to be taxable for this previous year, but not like this. You cannot write 7 lakh rupees as basic salary because we have just understand the concept or meaning of basic salary. I've told you, basic salary means which is due during previous year, which is due. So out of these 7 lakh rupees or 7 months, due month salary is 3 because you work only on January, February, and March. And we check the basic or advance always on 31st March 23 date, end of the previous year. So you might be thinking he's receiving, excuse me. So you might be thinking that he's receiving 7 months salary as advance. So 7 months is advance salary. No, he's receiving 7 months salary on 1st January. How much is advance and how much is current year salary? That is going to be decided on which date? 31st March 23, end of the previous year. So out of these 7 months salary, 3 months salary is basic salary. So 3 lakh will be taxable as basic salary because till 31st March 23, he worked for 3 months. Out of those 7 month payment, he worked for 3 months. So due month salary will be those salary which is due during the previous year. And only 4 months salary will be treated as advance salary. So you need to pay tax on 7 lakh, but you need to bifurcate in 2 parts. One is basic salary and one is advance salary. So by the end of the previous year, advance is only for 4 months because for 3 months he have been already worked for the organization. Understood? So if he received 7 months salary on 1st January 2023, then out of that 7 month, 3 month will be your basic salary category taxable and 4 month will be advance salary. For example, if you have received 10 months salary on 1st January 2023, 10 months instead of 7, then what will happen? Basic salary will remain 3 months, of course, and then advance salary will be for 7 months. Okay. Now, there's a very interesting thing is about to come. There is very interesting thing which says, in our previous example, he was receiving 1st January 2023, 7 months is advance salary, like 7 lakh rupees. Okay. Out of that, basic salary was 3 lakh. We just find out. And advance salary will be 4 lakh. So that was the scenario for previous year 22-23. Now there is a very interesting condition will arise in next previous year. And now what will happen in next previous year 23-24? Now his employer not paid any advance salary in the previous year 23-24. He has been paid normal basic salary. Now he worked for the whole previous year from April till March. And if we are going to find out the basic salary for this previous year, then what will happen? The formula is salary due or received, whichever is higher or earlier. So how many months he will work? That will be it as due salary. 12 months he worked, but he will not receive full 12 months salary now. Why? Because out of these 12 months, he already received 4 months as an advance salary in last year. In last year, you see 7 months salary. January, February, March for that previous year and 4 months in advance salary. So that 4 months are April, May, June, July of these previous year, new previous year. So the employer will pay now him only 8 months salary because 4 months salary has already been paid in last previous year. But the formula says whichever is higher or earlier. So if we say then there will be 12 months salary is going to be taxable, 1 lakh rupees each, that is 12 lakhs should be taxable, but no. If we are going to taxable 12 lakh rupees over here, then technically we are taxable 4 lakh rupees twice. Because these 4 lakh has already been taxed in this previous year by the name of advance salary. And if we taxable 12 lakh rupees in this previous year, then these 4 lakh also going to be taxable over here, and that is called double taxation, which is not possible in the income tax. Income tax says we do not take double tax on any income. So the provision has been made very simple. There's a clarification which is given by the department that If any income has already been taxed as advance salary in last previous year, then it will be deducted in its previous year out of the basic salary. So if any salary has already been taxable as advance salary in preceding year, then in the current year, it will not be taxable again. It will be deducted out of the salary income of that previous year. So in this previous year, only 8 lakh will be taxable as a basic salary. It's simple mathematics. Like we have already taxed 4 lakh rupees, that is April, May, June, July 23 income in last previous year. So now what will happen? If will taxable 12 lakh full amount, then we are technically April, May, June, July salary is going to be taxable again. So that is not allowed. Government say if any salary is taxable as advance salary, then it will not be taxable again. So you understood the concept of basic salary and advance salary. Basic salary, which is due during the previous year, which is due, whether received or not, it does not matter. If salary is due, that is called basic salary. What is advance salary? Which is received but not due in previous year. So when advance salary is taxable on received basis, then when it is going to be due in next year or in future, that is not going to be taxable again. Okay. Everything has been written in the notes. This is the notes with example. Section 15 deals with the basis of charge. Salary is chargeable to tax either on due or receipt basis, whichever is earlier. However, where any salary paid in advance is assessed in the year of payment, it cannot be subsequently brought to tax in the year in which it becomes due. If the salary paid in arrear has already been assessed on due basis, the same cannot be taxed again when it is paid. So arrear of salary topic we will discuss later. I have told you what is the meaning of point number 1, basic and advanced salary. So this is example. You can go through it. These are simple examples. I've already given you 2 examples. These examples are almost the same. What is the meaning of advanced salary? We just discussed. Advanced salary is taxable when it is received by employee, irrespective of the fact whether it's due or not. It may so happen that when advance salary is included and charged in a particular previous year, the rate of tax at which the employee is assessed may be higher than the normal rate of tax which he would have been assessed. For that, section 89 will come. So I've told you we will discuss the numerical topic of arrear of salary in section 89. Advanced salary also have some kind of connection with section 89. What section 89 says, I'm not going to tell you now. It will confuse you. So what is the meaning of advanced salary? We discussed. What is the meaning of basic salary? We discussed. What is the meaning of arrear of salary? Some part we discussed. What are the concept of section 89, relief, in respect of arrear of salary and advance salary? That is going to be discussed later. Difference between advance salary and advance against salary. So advance against salary is like a loan. Advance salary is an income, but advance against salary is a kind of a loan. So that cannot be taxable as your salary income. Advance salary does not have any taxability as salary income. Okay. So loan is different from salary. When an employee takes a loan from his employer, which is repayable in certain specified installment, the loan amount cannot be brought to tax as salary of the employee. So the earlier advance salary is your income, but advance against salary is not going to be treated as your salary income. Fine. Arrear of salary again came. Normally speaking, salary arrear must be charged on due basis. However, there are circumstances which it may not be possible to bring the same to charge on due basis if due to retrospective effect. You should remember this word, retrospective effect. That's a very nice word. Retrospective, which is effective from back date. And I've told you, I will tell you when the time will come. So relax. Arrear will be discussed later. That is again meaning of salary. So your confusion will be clear. What is the meaning of salary? Salary includes wages, annuity, pension, gratuity, fees, commission, advance, etc., etc. This is the definition of the meaning of the salary. You can go through it. Otherwise, it has been included in the summary. Whatever I have told you in summary, everything is being included in this. Now, after summary, I told you that we need to find four main components to find out the salary income. First was basic salary. In generally question, advance and area of salary, not in numerical. Most of the numerical is without advance salary and area of salary. That is a special cases when it generally happens that your employer pay you advance salary or area of salary. Fine. So we need to find out how to calculate the basic salary concept, and we just done it. Basic salary is which is due in the previous year, whether received or not. Then we need to find out the allowances portion. Allowances are monetary payments. I've just told you few moments before that, allowances are the monetary payment which has been paid to met out your job expenses. Like I just discussed, transport allowance, etc. One by one, we will discuss the allowances. So then we need to find the allowances portion. Then we have perquisites. These are non-monetary and these are kinds of facility. And then compensation, which generally received after retirement. Compensation, profit in lieu of salary, etc. These are generally one-time payment. And then the total of this will call gross salary. So we just discussed what is the meaning of basic salary, except the area of salary concept. We completed basic salary, advanced salary, and area of salary. Clear? Area of salary and advanced salary. Now we are moving on to our allowances portion. Allowances are monetary payment, which are technically given by employer to met out expenses relating to your service. So this is what we are going to discuss, type and meaning of allowances. There are technically three kinds of allowances. Those are fully exempt from tax. Those are fully exempt from tax. The second one, those are partly taxable and partly exempt from tax. And third one, those are fully taxable allowances. So one by one, we will learn those allowances. We will understand one by one. So if it is fully exempt allowance, that is very good for you because you need not to do anything. If there is an allowance which is fully exempted, what we need to solve it? Nothing. You will write it. It is exempted from tax. Simple. So if it is fully taxable, that is also very easy to solve because the full amount is going to be added in your salary income. The problem is partial allowance, which are exempted or taxable. So the provision of partial allowances, that is going to be discussed. And that is a kind of your numerical part. Because if it is a fully taxable, it's easy to solve. If it's fully exempted, easy to solve. Of course, you must have remembered whether it falls in the category of exempted or taxable. Then solution is very easy. But partly exempted or taxable, that is something we need to learn. Different types of allowances are given to employee by their employer. Generally, allowances are given to employee to meet some particular requirement like house rent allowance, uniform, conveyance, etc. We will discuss whether taxable or not. It will depend upon the nature of allowance and the category or the treatment done by the income tax department. So this is the format. I have copied it from your study, of course. It's a beautifully framed format. And these are three categories. First one is fully taxable, of course. This is fully exempted. So these are very easy to solve if it given question. The main work is need to be done on partly taxable. That means partly taxable, that is partly exempted. So entertainment allowance is fully taxable. Dearness allowance, that is fully taxable. Overtime allowance is fully taxable. Fixed medical allowance, fully taxable. City compensation, these are the terms you need to learn. There's nothing. It's very simple. Fine. Interim allowance, servant allowance, project allowance, tiffin allowance, etc., etc., etc. These all are going to be taxable, 100% taxable. And if any allowance which is not named in any of these allowance, if there's a question, there comes a dog allowance or cat allowance, movie allowance. What we will do? So if there's any allowance which has not been given in this table, then it will be 100% taxable. That means we have written over here any other cash allowance. That means if there is any allowance which is not given over here, you need to taxable it completely. Okay. So one by one, we will discuss allowances which are fully taxable. That is city compensatory allowance. You need to read it. These are very simple. Entertainment allowance need to taxable. There's a deduction also. In the diagram we discussed, you might have remembered. There are three deductions. First one is standard deduction. Second one was entertainment allowance deduction. So entertainment allowance is going to be taxable in the above format. Note number 6, all taxable allowances. But you will get an entertainment allowance deduction later. What is deduction? We will discuss. Fine, later. Transport allowance granted to an employee. This is important because there is a limit also. That is taxable, fully taxable also, but for some case, there is an exception also. So transport allowance granted to an employee to meet his expenditure for the purpose of commuting between the place of his residence and the place of his duty is fully taxable. Understand? So if you are getting transport allowance, then it's going to be taxable fully. But if you are a handicapped, if the employee is a handicapped employee, and if he's getting transport allowance, then he will get the exemption of 3,200 rupees per month. So exemption is there, but the exemption is only for handicapped employee, not other than handicapped employees. So it will written in question that the employee is handicapped or not. So if it is handicapped, then you can exempt up to 3,200 rupees per month as an exempted value. For example, if it is given in question that Mr. A has been given transport allowance 4,000 rupees per month, 4,000 rupees per month, then what will happen? If it is a regular employee, normal employee, full 4,000 is going to be taxable. That means 48,000 for that year. But if it has been given in question that he is a handicapped employee, then out of that 4,000, 3,200 per month will be exempted. Only 800 rupees per month is taxable. Only 800 rupees per month. Clear? If he is getting 3,000 rupees per month as allowance, only 3,000, then full 3,000 will be exempt. You do not need to do 3,000 minus 3,200 negative 200. No, exemption cannot exceed the amount received ever. Exemption cannot make your income in negative ever. If he's receiving only 1,000 per month, then full exempted, nothing is taxable. Okay. So third is important because it's a limit also. Now, these are full taxable amount, of course, entertainment, DNS, etc. You need to learn the name only. Only the transport allowance has some special provision. The main, or we can say important allowances are this second column, which talk about partly taxable or partly exempted kind of. So now we will discuss, there are two basic allowances in this partly taxable. One is house rent allowance. So this is the house rent allowance, and let me tell you, it's very important for your examination. From my vision, if I am going to frame allowance numerical, then only house rent allowance numerical can be framed, because all other allowances are very simple to solve. Very, very simple. There's only a fixed limit. You just need to remember it and you need to solve it. Only house rent allowance has some special provision, special solution concept, numerical kind of, that is over here. What is house rent allowance? If you are doing job in some organization, some good organization, then it might be they are going to give you a certain amount of payment for your rental, what you are bearing. For example, if you live in Delhi and you got a job in Bangalore, you switch to Bangalore and your employer say, yes, you do not have any house over here, so I'll give you 10,000 rupees per month as your house rent allowance. Find a house and live there. Whether you are paying rent 12,000, 8,000, 5,000 does not matter. He is going to pay a fixed amount as per the policy. So HRA or house rent allowance has been given to meet you your rental expenditure. And how to find out the taxable value out of this. So there is a concept, there is a provision for it. HR is a special allowance specifically granted to an employee by his employer towards payment of rent for residence of the employee. Minimum of the following will be exempted from tax. The balance is going to be taxable. There's a simple concept. Amount received minus exempted. Taxable value we need to find always like this. Amount received minus exempted, balance is always taxable. So there are three limits you need to find out. Actual amount received for the relevant period. Rent paid minus 10% of salary for relevant period. 50% of salary if your rental house is situated in metro cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai. And if you are in any other place, then 40% of salary will be taken in point number 3. So there are three amount limit. First one will be given in question, that is how much HRA you are receiving. That is point number 1. Relevant period means the time you occupied the house. Rent paid, how much rent you are actually paying. That is, and 10% of salary. You need to take 10% of salary. And then third point is say 50% of salary or 40% as the case may. One by one, we will discuss the meaning. First one is, what is the meaning of salary? So salary technically is the finished product of a lot of components like perquisites, bonus, commission, basic salary, area of salary, provident fund. We have discussed in that format also. So what is salary for calculating this 10% or this 50 or 40%? We need to take 10% of salary. So what is salary? What component we need to include in this? So there is the provision. Note number 1 tells you what component we need to include. So out of that format, we need to take only the basic salary and only one allowance, that is called dearness allowance. In Hindi, we called it Mehngai Bhatta. That is for inflation or for high cost of living. That is for that dearness allowance has been provided by the employer. So if it is given in question that employee is getting salary and dearness allowance also. Dearness allowance is of two types. One is if provided in terms of employment, if it is as per the terms of employment, it will be given in question. The dearness allowance 2,000 rupees as per terms of employment or retirement benefit or not. If it says yes, it's 2,000 rupees and it is as per the terms of employment or retirement benefit, then we will include salary and DA both. And commission also form part of this salary. Commission if it is a fixed percentage of turnover. Now there is a very interesting thing about numerical provision, about practical provision, that you might learn them by heart. You can read these provision, you can learn them. Until we will do the example or numericals, you will not able to solve it in your examination. So if you are getting confused, what is basic salary, what is DNS allowance, what is commission, just relax, because I know you just need to understand what I'm telling you right now. And after this, we will discuss our numerical questions. So that will definitely going to clear the whole concept, crystal clear. Do not worry. We will have a break after 10 or 15 minutes. Before that break, I will take your rest of queries and then we will go for a break after almost 15-20 minutes. Okay. So salary for this purpose means basic salary. We need to include basic salary like this. What is the meaning of salary for this? We need to take basic salary, dearness allowance. I wrote T. T means terms of employment or as per retirement benefit. And third is commission. There is two kinds of commission. One is per month commission, 2,000 rupees per month. We will not take that. Commission will take if it is a percentage on turnover base. It will be given in question also. Don't worry. Everything will be given in question. We just need to remember these provision. So these three amount, basic salary, DA as per terms plus commission. That is my salary for this allowance to calculate 10% or 40 or 50. These three things will be taken only for the relevant period. If you occupied the rent-free house for 5 months, then we will take 5 months basic salary, 5 months DA, and 5 months percentage commission on turnover value. Fine. If you took for whole 12 months, then 12 months basic salary, 12 months DA, and 12 months percentage commission on sale. Are you clear? Are you enjoying this? You have to enjoy your study. You have to enjoy. I know it's difficult, but you should enjoy it, because if you are no interest in study, that is going to be very, very difficult, because this course needs a lot of involvement of you for a very long time, like for next 3 or 4 years. So you have to study. And if you'll take it like a burden, it will be impossible to do it. You have to enjoy it. Like if your parents say, go and watch a movie. So how excited we are, very much. We are very tired. We are not in a mood to do anything. But if your parents say something which you like, whether it's going on a movie or dance classes or gym or roaming on any restaurant, etc. So we technically are very comfortable to do all these things, even if we are tired, etc. Why? Because we have interest on those things. So if we have interest in something, then there is no tiredness, there is no issue. We can enjoy that thing because that is what we like. If somebody likes playing video games, then if he or she allowed to play that video game, then you will not feel tiredness, etc. You are involved in that. But if your parents say, go to the satsang, satsang, okay, for 2 hours, then even if you are full of energy, you won't be able to sit over there for 2 hours, like for not even for 20 minutes. Even after for 10 minutes, you will get bored and it's very difficult. You will feel that 2 hours are so long. But if you're watching movie, what do you like? Then you will feel that 2 hours just finish like this. Why it's happening? Because you do not have interest in the satsang, of course, and you have interest in movie. So if you have interest in something, then those things you never feel difficult. Never. Like for example, if someone of you have interest in dancing, then you never feel it's difficult. If someone you have interest in going gym, then you never feel it difficult because you have interest in that. But if somebody who does not like dancing, understand now, we are not talking about a study, we are talking about the dancing. If somebody does not have interest in dance, then that might be the most difficult thing for him. And you will see what he is saying. He cannot dance? How it's possible? It's so easy. It's easy because you like it. But if somebody has no interest in dancing, then that might be the most difficult thing for him or her. Right? You must have seen actors dancing. Those do not dance well. So that's the most difficult part of shooting for them, that they need to dance on a song because they do not have interest. So got it? It's not only about the study. If you're feeling that you're not liking the study, does not mean other things are good. It's just like this because you do not have interest in study right now. So you might be feeling tiring, you're not feeling interesting. So there is a way you can make your study interesting. And how it happens, it's very, very awesome things that if we attach some reward with your study or reward with anything, we automatically have interest in those things. Like if your parents ask you to go to the satsang and they'll go you an iPhone. For how many days you go? If you'll go for 6 days, they will give you an iPhone 6, 7, or like 10 or 11 or 12. And if you go continuously for 14 days to a satsang, even if you don't like it, they will give you iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now you know what will happen. You will go to that satsang. And you will enjoy that satsang because now there is a reward. So just things completely change because there is no reward. So you will feeling so bored in that satsang and you do not have interest. You might feeling excuses for not going there. But if your parents say that we will give you iPhone 14 Pro Max after 14 days, if you join that satsang continuously, you might not find that satsang that boring now. And might be some of you will start having interest in that also. Interest you all have is going to have because you are going to have a good reward. So that's what I'm saying. When you study, do not get bored. Do not treat like a burden. Imagine there is a reward for you. If you'll clear Chartered Accountant course, you know what is the reward? You can buy any mobile, any iPhone, any model. In whatever year it will launch, you can afford it without even asking from anyone because you will earn money. You can fulfill your every dream. If you need to buy a very good car, you can buy it. If you want to go travel out of country, you can do that. If you want to shop branded clothes like Zara, Tommy, CK, you can buy it without even thinking, should I buy or not? So whenever you are studying and you feel getting bored or not interested or difficult, technically you are not seeing this picture that between you and your dreams, there is only one thing, and that is this books. So you should fall in love with books. Okay, not that, with books. Once you will understand now, because your all dreams can be achieved via this path only. You might have start interest in study, and the day you will start having interest in study, you'll find it easy. In your school timing, you all have some subject which you find very difficult, and you know it's not difficult. It's that subject you don't like. You do not have interest. Somebody find maths difficult, somebody find history, Hindi, English, literature, anything. And those are not difficult because somebody else is actually finding them very easy. Why? The same subject. And we all are same people. We have almost same brain. Because you have interest in something and you do not have interest in something, that thing will be going to be difficult. So we will discuss this topic. Okay, fine, later also. First of all, okay, on this question, we were discussing like HRA provisions. We are here and it says salary. So we need to find out salary have generally component salary, DNS allowance as per terms, and percentage commission on sale. Salary means as per gratuity C case. Actually, this salary, basic salary, DA, and percentage commission of sale, also including gratuity C case. So I generally write this provision that this is C case salary. So this is the same salary which is going to be considered in gratuity case also. So we have learned over here. So now when we will discuss about the gratuity case, so I will tell you that refer the HRA salary. Okay. Salary will be considered on due basis. So we will not take arrear of salary or advance salary to calculate house rent allowance. We will take only basic salary, DA as per terms, and percentage commission on sale. If employee does not pay any rent, for example, if you do not pay any rent, you are receiving HRA, but you are not paying any rent. Like you are working in Bangalore and you have your own house. An employer is paying you HRA because they pay as per the policy of a company. It does not matter that you have a house in that area or not. It does not matter. If company has a policy to pay HRA, they will pay to those also. Those have residence. Those are actually living their own house in that city or anyone else. So if you are living at your own house or you are paying somewhere where you need not to pay any rent, then full amount of HRA will be taxable. There will be no exemption. That will technically actually automatically happen because if you are not paying rent, then rent paid will be zero because technically you are not paying. And if this second point rent paid is zero, that means this point will comes also again zero. And 1, 2, 3 point, which will be lower, exemption point will be zero. And if it is zero, then automatically full amount is going to be taxable. So if there is no rent paid, then exemption will be always zero. You can taxable the full value. Even if you try to solve it, then again it will come exemption zero. Relevant period means the period during which the said accommodation was occupied by the assessee during the previous year. Third point is very, very, very important. Third point says there are technically 4 components on the basis of which this HRA calculation work. One is actual amount received. That means HRA value. How much the employer is paying you, 10,000, 12,000, whatever it is. Second is, of course, rent paid. Third important criteria to calculate the exemption deduction is salary value. Basic salary, DA. And the fourth is situation. If it is in metro city, then you need to take 50%. Otherwise, you need to take 40%. So there are four main things which affects the calculation of HRA. Rent, actual HRA, rent paid, salary, and situation. So what I'm trying to say is this: if any of this factor changed, like you were getting HRA 10,000 per month from April till December for 9 months. And from January, employer increased it 12,000 per month. So there is a change in this factor, amount received. So now you need not to calculate full 12-month HRA together. No. If any of this factor changed, then you need to calculate that part separate exemption and balance part separate exemption. Like I've told you that HRA was 10,000 till December, and after that it was 12,000. Then you need to solve this example in two parts. First 9-month calculation separate and then 2-month separation. Both taxable value will be ultimately going to be joined, but you need to calculate it separately. If you solve it combined, the answer will be wrong. For example, if rent paid change, like HRA was same for the whole year, 10,000 for 12 months. Rent paid change. For 8 months, rent paid was 7,000. And remaining 4 months, you change the house or the rent has increased. Now it's 8,000 per month. Then again, you have to calculate 8 months HRA with the same provision separately and balance separately. Again, you shifted from Delhi to Bangalore after 5 months. Then for 5 months calculation will be separate and balance will be 7 months calculation will be separated. When you test your knowledge, in study, the test your knowledge question number 1, the example 1 relates with this situation, note number 3. If there is any change in the amount of salary, place of residence, rent paid, and HRA, there are 4 main components. Exemption will not be computed on annual basis. In such case, exemption should be computed separately for each fraction of the year in which above factor have changed. Refer test your knowledge first question. I've told you in your study, test your knowledge question number 1 relates with this provision. But you will not find note number 3 in your study provision. In study, this provision is not made. So I have told you this because when you solve, trying to solve test your knowledge question first, then this note will help you. It will tell you how to calculate it. Don't worry, I'm going to explain it also. Let me explain how it will work. For example, Mr. Ironman, fine. Let's create some interest. Is working in an organization in Delhi. Okay, I am giving you the details from 1st April 2022. His basic salary was, for example, 20,000 per month. And I am saying it's a gratuity C case basic salary. Gratuity C case basic salary means basic salary plus DA term plus percentage commission. Fine. This is 20,000 per month is given in question. He is paying rent 24,000 per month. And he is living in, of course, Delhi. So now, and HRA is received. Okay, 10,000 per month. So if only this situation is given, then we can solve the whole question of 12 months in a single shot. But might be examiner says that from August, 1st August, salary is now 30,000 per month. And rent paid also changed 25,000. HRA is same. There is no need that every factor should change. If any of them will change, the partition will be different. Place is still Delhi. From 1st January 2023, this is same, salary is same, rent is same, but for example, HRA also same, but we have shifted to Mumbai. No, sorry. 52 Bangalore. Now you have seen we have to calculate HRA calculation 3 times because there's change of factor from April till July. April, May, June, July, like 4 months, HRA calculation will be done with this information. It will be simple. First point will be same, HRA received, second is rent paid minus 10, but we will take only 4 months calculation over it. Then from August, things change. So till August till December, August, September, October, November, December. That means for 5 months, now we will find HRA's calculation with this information. And for next 3 months, we will calculate HRA exemption with the change information, like over here it will be 50%. And now when we'll move on these 3 months, we will take 40% of salary. Other factor will be same. So there is nothing new I am telling you. The same provision will apply, but you need to solve it in 3 parts. So now you find the taxable value for 4 months separate, then for 5 months separate taxable value, and then for 3 months separate taxable value. Then total value is going to be written as your salary, house rent allowance, taxable value. Fine. So that is a calculation. Just need to calculate twice or thrice. That's it. There's nothing new provision. Back to the notes. So that was HRA in partly exempted, partly taxable, and second was special allowances. It's very easy. It's very, very easy. Special allowances composite. After the special allowance provision, I'll solve your query and then we will go for a break. In a special allowances, there are technically 6 allowances and they have same treatment. The best thing is they have same treatment. They do not have separate individual different treatment. If any one of them is asking a question, you can solve it via same treatment, like traveling and transfer allowance, then daily allowance, then conveyance allowance, then helper allowance, then research or academic allowance, and uniform allowance. For example, there is a transport allowance also, in which full taxable, but 30 to 100 rupees per month is exempt for physically challenged employee. Clear? And now this traveling and transfer allowance, the difference is transport allowance is from residence to office and vice versa. Traveling and transfer allowance is generally to commute outside your city for your official work. If you are going outside your city for some time, for 5-6 days seminar, or if for official work, for that purpose, if you have given allowance, that is technically called transfer or traveling allowance. Again, conveyance allowance is almost same again, but it's a difference. Again, transport allowance is from your residence till office and going back. Traveling transfer allowance, transport allowance is office till residence and vice versa. Traveling and transfer is outside your city to commute. Conveyance allowance, after you reach to your office. And if after reaching office, your employer send you for official work within city, for that expenses, that is called conveyance allowance. So they almost looks like same, but they all have separate meaning. Daily allowance for your daily expenses, your helper allowance, if employer has given you some helper for your official work, that's called helper allowance. Research or academic, if you are into some research or academic, that is called your research allowance. Uniform allowance, of course, that's called your uniform. Above are exempted to the minimum of following. They all have the same treatment, amount of allowance received, whatever allowance you are receiving, and amount utilized for the official purpose. For example, if you receive conveyance allowance of rupees 3,000 per month, and you used for official purpose 1,800 rupees per month. Balance 1,200, whether you used for personal purpose or you just saved it, it does not matter. If employer give you allowance, they do not ask back it. If there is some amount which has been remaining after using for official purpose, employer cannot ask it for returning. So you used for official purpose 1,800. Now, how much will be exempted or taxable? It's very simple. Amount of allowance is 3,000. Used for official purpose 1,800. Whichever is lower will be exempted. So this will be exempt. And what is a taxable universal provision? Received minus exempt. Received was 3,000. Exempt is 1,800. That means 1200 per month is going to be taxable. What if he does not use any amount for official purpose? If official expenses is 0, then what will happen? This will be 0. Minimum will be exempted. That will be 0 exempted. Then full value is going to be taxable. So these all allowances have same treatment. If any of them is come in the question, you can solve it by one go. It's very, very, very simple. So for my purview, HR is very important because it's difficult. Whatever is difficult is, of course, important in your life. An employee being an assessee, fine. You must have read the section 115 BAC in your rates of taxes provision, and you'll also read it later. There's a separate rate of taxes concept has been come into the force. If you opt section 115 BAC, what is section 115 BAC? You might have learned in the basic concept classes. If not, then you will learn it, the calculation of tax classes later on. So you, for the time being, you just understand this thing. If employee is opting for section 115 BAC, then only traveling, daily and conveyance allowance. These allowances are going to be exempted. Others are going to be taxable. Okay. Next, allowances, those are technically exempted to a certain extent. You need to read these allowances because these have specific name and a certain amount of limit, like 200 rupees per month, the limit for transport allowance. They have separate limit. You need to note it down and read it for examination. Generally, these are not that important because these are some very important, but you need to read all of them. Any special compensatory allowance in the natural, some specific area allowance, 800 rupees per month, 300 per month, 7,000 per month in Siachen area. A special compensatory allowance, these are separate limits. A special compensatory, this is important for examination, of course, because it's a single limit, no change limit. So those are very important for examination. Fourth point is very important. That is, any allowances granted to an employee working in any transport system. So if you are a transport employee, you are truck driver, etc. we are talking about, or travel agency driver, etc. So if you are in a transport system employee, and if the employer is paying you transport allowance, then exemption will be 70% of such allowance or 10,000 rupees per month, whichever is lower. So it has been written like 70% of such allowance up to a maximum of 10,000. You can also read it like it for examination, 70% of allowance or 10,000 per month, whichever is lower is exempt, balance will be taxable. Okay. Children education allowance, that is also exempted for your examination. This limit is 100 rupees per month per child. I'll take example, we'll solve question, of course. Then there's a hostel expenditure allowance. The limit is 300 rupees per month per child. These are important allowances. I'm highlighting them, of course, for you. Compensatory field area allowance, 26,000 rupees or 2,600 rupees per month. Modified area, 1,000. Special allowance nature of counter insurance insurgency allowance, 3,900 rupees per month. Transport allowances granted to the physically handicapped. We have discussed it already, 3,200 rupees per month. Underground allowances, 800 rupees per month. If you are working some mining, etc., then if you are getting an underground allowance, 800 rupees per month is going to be exempted. High altitude allowances, 1,060. Again, a special allowance in the nature of special compensatory, highly active field area, and so on, 15th one. There are note which says an assessee claiming exemption in respect of allowance mentioned in serial number 7, 8, and 9 shall not be entitled to exemption in respect of allowance and distributed allowance area referred to in serial number 2. General things. Again, an employee being an assessee, you opt for 115 BAC. Again, that is special rate of tax provision. If you are going to opt for that, then it says exemption out of the all above allowances will be gone except handicapped allowance, 32 rupees per month, 3,200 rupees per month. So these were allowances which we need to fully taxable, we have discussed, and partly taxable. Now the third was allowances which are fully exempted. In Hindi we say bhatte jo puri tarah se mukt hai, fine, whatever it is. So these are the allowances which are technically 100% exempted. These are only 5 allowances. You need to just read it. There's nothing limit. In examination, you just need to recall it that yes, it was in the exempted limit, and then you need to do what? You need to exempt it completely. Allowances, Supreme Court, United Nations, Constitution, etc. I guess this fifth one you must have been studied in your residential status provision. No, sorry. In your income which do not fall, which do not taxable income, that is exempted income. That is chapter number 3. There's an allowances, which this allowance already have been given there also. And if you are government employee and a citizen of India and renders services outside India, then all allowances and perquisites are exempted, except basic salary. Only basic salary going to be taxable. Generally, all allowances and perquisites are exempted from tax. So we have done with the basic concept, we have done with the allowances concept, and as I have told you that there are 4 components. First one is basic salary, advance salary, area of salary, then allowances, then perquisite and compensation. So we have done with the basic salary, advance, area concept, section 89 left. Then we have done with the allowances category. Now we are moving on to compensation. Before the compensation, I am taking your query session, then we will go on a break. Okay, after that, query session. Let's see. So we have a lot of query to discuss. Okay, Lavish is asking, sir, this chapter, how many marks minimum will appear salary chapter? These kind of questions are irrelevant, Lavish. Everything is important. Everything. There is no fix that I can tell you that at least this much of number question will be framed from this chapter. Institute is very, very, very smart. And even examiners who are making papers for you are smarter than all of us. So this kind of selected study is really dangerous. Go for a comprehensive study. Everything is same important in your examination. Fine. Okay, so sir, if 7 lakh, which is taxable in assessment year 23-24, 4 lakh salary again taxable in 24-25, because this is related to previous year 2020 is taxable. I guess the D. Yanesh Ingle, I have explained this advance salary concept with example that if something is taxable on the basis of advance salary in any previous year, that is not going to taxable in future year, of course. Okay, any other query? If employee take loan from employer and its payment made against his future salary, then that salary taxable or not? That salary will be accrue in your head. Then it will be set off from, the loan will be set off from salary. But whatever salary, even if you are not receiving it, the whole amount of loan is set off. It's still it's due. Due entry is going to be passed in the books of accounts of the employer. So it's going to be taxable. It does not matter. For example, your salary is 1 lakh rupees per month. You have taken a loan of 50 lakh rupees. Clear? Your EMI is 1 lakh rupees per month. Full. So your employer does not pay anything to you for the whole year because the whole 1 lakh rupees salary has been set off against your EMI. But still, that has been accrued to you. It is not received by you, but that has been accrued. So it will be a due in your books of accounts. So 12 lakh will still be your salary. You need to pay tax on it. Great. So if a person earns salary 10 lakh and business income 10 lakh, then is taxable for salary and business 10 lakh each separately into 2 times or both 20 lakh together? Who is asking? Lavish, I guess you must have taken the basic classes, chapter number 1, rate of taxes. And I believe your faculty must have told you how to calculate tax. But for time being, I'll tell you, whole 20 lakh is going to be taxable with the slab rate, what you ever read in your chapter number 1. Fine. Next is again, Lavish, his salary is 10 lakh into 12 months, 12 lakh if bonus given 10, then it's total 13. What are you writing? If salary is 1 lakh into 12 months, 12 lakh, if bonus is given 1 lakh, then its total is 13 lakh taxable or bonus is excluded. Full 13 lakh will be taxable, but salary will be called only 12 lakh. 1 lakh is a bonus part, which is also the part of that summary note, the summary format, and it's going to be taxable again. And that bonus is also will be a part of salary because bonus, commission, incentives, allowances, perquisite, compensation, everything is called total under the name of salary. If there's an employer-employee relationship, any payment by whatever name called will be included under the head salary. Okay. Okay. Akash Bhai Joshi was asking, what if employee lives in his own house? HRA will be given or not? That will be depend upon the policy of the company. Company does not have anything. Whether you have a house in that city or not, company does not have anything. If they're in their policy, they need to pay HRA, they will pay HRA. Relevant period I've explained. What will be the relevant period, of course? Then okay, enjoying, sir. I'm enjoying the section you are teaching. Okay, thank you. Please update notes. I have already uploaded. So explain area. I'll explain you area part in detail when we will read section 89, just Shah, or whatever I've explained till now regarding the area. You can scroll back the video and you can watch it. I can take all the remaining section. Please write your feedback to Board of Study regarding that. Do not ask this thing to me. It is not in my control. Metro cities are only 4 for the purpose of HRA. Fine, DMCK. Situated means situated. That means located, of course. 50 or 40%. Who's asking? Yatira asking 40-50% of salary. Salary means the same thing. Salary plus DA if it's as per term plus pension. Next is query. If a person residing, who's asking, Rohit is asking, if a person residing in rental house for full year, he paid rent for part of the year and not paid for the part of the year, then what will the amount of rent? The amount of rent he has paid will be taken in the rent paid value. Of course, the exemption will be reduced because rent paid, the lower the amount of rent paid, the exemption will be reduced. The balance will be taxable, of course. Rent paid need to be there. Okay. Pranev asking if the house is of company and not paying any cash but providing accommodation, that will be called a perquisite privilege. We are talking about the HRA, the house rent allowances, but if the company is providing you a house, that is called a perquisite and it will be covered under perquisite section. It is called a rent-free house or rent-free accommodation. How it's going to be taxable, we will discuss those provisions later. DA term, we will discuss after the break. So, Mr. Ayaz, can we go for a break and after 10 minutes we'll resume, I guess? Mr. Ayaz, are you there? Welcome back. You must have your tea, coffee, etc. So after break, we are now again moving on to our notes and now discuss some questions. So I have downloaded your study material and we will discuss all the examples of your study material. Fine, one by one. I have also take the print of those provisions, so that will be really easy. So after the class, you can correlate that which questions I have discussed with you. So this is the first question. Okay. Illustration 1, that is on page number 4.16 of your study material. Okay. So later on, page number 4.16. 14, 15, 16. So this is a illustration of HRA, house rent allowances. Fine. So you have been given in question, basic pay is 40,000, dearness allowance is 6,000, commission is 50,000. So for the purpose of HRA, we include basic pay, DA as per term. But in question, till now, it has not been given that if it is as per terms of employment or retirement benefit or not. If question is silent, then we will not consider it. If question is silent about DA, we will assume that it is not as per terms of employment. Again, the commission, we need percentage commission on sale, and this is 50,000 per annum, fixed commission. So again, we will not consider this also for the purpose of HRA. Motor car for personal use, not relevant for HRA calculation. And this is given house rent allowance. So HRA is given, salary information is given. Now left with rent paid and the situation where the house is situated. Okay. Find out the HRA eligible for exemption to Mr. Rajkumar, assuming that the paid a rent of 16,000 per month for his accommodation at Kanpur. DA form part of salary for retirement benefit. So you have patience. Question will explain everything. So when there's DA, read the whole question. And if nothing is written, then we will consider DA as not per retirement benefit. Now I'll solve it for you. So information was, first point we need to find HRA given. Second is the formula rent paid minus 10% of salary. And third is because he's in Kanpur, so we will take 40% of salary. HRA is given in question 15,000 per month. So because there is no change in the factor, so we can solve the whole amount together for whole year, or we can solve it for a month-based exemption, and then we can multiply it to 12. But I am doing the whole amount once. So HRA is 1,80,000, 15,000 per month, that is into 12. Then rent paid is 16,000. So rent paid is 16,000 into 12 minus 10% of salary. Now for salary, we will take 40,000 as basic pay plus DA. It has been written that it is as per terms of employment. We will not take commission because it's a fixed commission, not a percentage base, into 12. So first is 180. Second, this calculation value will comes to 1,36,800. You can solve it, okay? And then 40% of salary. And again, same salary, 40,000 into 6, that is 46,000 into 12. That value 40%, that comes 220,800. So out of all of these three, minimum will be exempted, lower will be exempted, and that is 1,36,800. That is exempted HRA. How we will find the taxable? It's always same rule, received minus exempted. So 180 was received HRA, 136,800 is exempted HRA. So my taxable value will be 43,600. You can find it on monthly basis also. And after that, you can multiply it into 12. Calculator. Okay. I hope it's clear. It's very simple. The second example we are going to discuss On page number 4.21. This is HRA example, of course. Now we are moving on to page number 4.21 for other allowance exemption, and that is Mr. Shrikant has two sons. He is in receipt of children education allowance of 150 per month for his elder son and 70 per month for his younger son. So the exemption was 100 rupees per month per child, maximum for two children. Both his sons are going to school. He also received the following allowance. He's getting transport allowance 1800 and 500 is travel area allowance. I can solve it over here only. So there are two children and he's getting children education allowance 150 for one and 70 for the other. Exemption says it's 100 rupees per month per child and maximum for two. And it will be granted to each children separately. So for the first child, 100 rupees exemption will be there. 50 is going to be taxable. You cannot combine it. You cannot solve it like this. 220 minus 200. No, this is wrong. You have to calculate the exemption separately. So he can claim 100 rupees. So taxable value is 50. And he can only claim 70 rupees. Because if we claim 100, that will be negative. And negative cannot be allowed due to exemption. So this will be 0. So this child is taxable 1250 rupees per month. That is 600 rupees. Year is taxable. Younger son is full exempted. Transport allowance is full taxable because for handicapped only, there is an exemption of 3200. And travel area allowance is 500, which is 200 exempted per month. So 300 rupees per month is taxable. That is 3600 is taxable. You can see the solution. Just a second. Okay. So 3600 total taxable value of allowances is 25,800. I hope this is also clear. So that was second example of your. Okay. There are only two examples till now. Now moving on to the notes further. We were on to our compensations provisions. Fine. I have told you that we have completed basic salary concept provision. We have completed allowances concepts and now the compensation. Compensations are generally those payments what we received after retirement or on death, etc. But if any compensation is received during service, generally practically does not happen, but if question has been given that any compensation is received during service, that is going to be taxable 100%. There is no exemption. There is no benefit. Those are going to taxable 100% value. Fine. So now one by one, we will discuss about the compensation. The first one is pension or annuity. As per the definition, annuity is treated as salary. Any payment between employer-employee relationship will be treated as salary income. Annuity is a sum payable in respect of particular year. It is a yearly grant. If a person invests some money entitling him to series of equal annual sum, such annual sums are annuities in the hands of investor. Annuity means investment sort of which you will get as a compensation after your retirement. Annuity received by a present employer is to be taxed as salary. It does not matter whether it's paid in pursuance of a contractual obligation or voluntarily. Annuity received from a past employer is taxable as profit in lieu of salary. Annuity received from a person other than an employer is taxable as income from other source. So the first topic, which is important for it, is this pension. If received during service, then taxable for all employees. Now we have comes to the pension. Pension is a very general word, and it is received after a certain year of employment, on retirement, etc. So if it is given in question that employee receive pension during service, then it is going to be taxable for all employees. But if pension is received after service, then this is two kinds of pension. One is uncommuted pension. Uncommuted pension means it's a per month payment. Generally, pension received like this in this format. That is per month payment, like 10,000 per month will be received as a pension. That is called uncommuted. Commuted means lump sum. So which is not lump sum, that is called periodical payment of pension, and it has been written. It is a periodical payment of pension. It is taxable for all employees. Whether you're a government employee or not, does not matter. It's going to be taxable for all. Commuted pension has separate exemption. It is the payment of pension in lump sum amount. For example, suppose a person is entitled to receive a pension of say 10,000 per month for the rest of his life. He may commute 1/4, that is 25% of amount, and get a lump sum of say 1,50,000. So somebody was entitled for receiving 10,000 per month as a pension. But he said, no, give me 25% in commuted form and balance 75% in uncommuted form. So the 25% of this amount, say, is calculated like 1,50,000. So employer pay 1,50,000 in lump sum to that employee, and balance now left is 75% because 25% you have taken in lump sum form. So now per month pension will be received by him is 7,500 because 25% of that pension he is received in a one time. So now balance is 75%. Now that 7,500 rupees per month will be received by him in per month. In the case of central and state government and local authority or statutory corporation, members of civil services, defense services, judges of Supreme Court and High Court, it is fully exempt. Which one is exempted? Commuted pension we are talking about. So commuted pension is 100% exempted for these employees. In case of other employees, if employee received gratuity also, you are receiving pension and you are also receiving gratuity, then exemption will be 1/3 into commuted value of whole pension. Not the amount you receive, the value will be taken off whole pension value. 1/3 of whole pension will be exempted. And if you are not receiving gratuity, you're receiving pension only, you're not receiving gratuity. If you are receiving gratuity and pension both, then exemption will be 1/3. But if you are not receiving gratuity, then pension exemption will be 1/2 of commuted value of whole pension. What is the commuted value of whole pension? How we need to calculate it? There is a formula. It's very simple. Pension received, commuted value into 100 upon percentage received as commuted part. There is an example. I'll solve it for you. Don't worry. Any commuted pension received by an individual out of annuity plan of the Life Insurance Corporation of India from a fund set up by that corporation will be exempted. Now with the example, let me explain you. If there is an employee, the pension provisions are like this. We can say it's like this. I also made a chart presentation of each provision. I'll provide you charts when we will end up this our topic, like our sessions of. We have 4 sessions of salary. So by the end of this session, I'll provide in the last session your diagram also. I'm going to upload it on the portal. That will be really a shortcut method to remember all the numerical provision in one go. That will really help you. Fine. So pension is like during service. If it is during service, it's going to be taxable for all employees. If it is after service, it might be uncommuted or commuted. If it is uncommuted, that is taxable again for all employees. If it's uncommuted, then whether you are a state government, central government, etc. employee, 100% exempt from tax. For other employees, whether you are receiving gratuity also or no gratuity. If you're receiving gratuity, then exemption will be 1/3 into total pension. We can say commuted value of whole pension, or in short, I am writing total pension. Okay? Or 1/2 into total pension. So in short, we can say we need to calculate it like this. I guess we have a question also regarding pension of study. Yes, we have. So let's solve that numerical. This is on page number 4.25. Don't worry, I am going to solve each and every example of your study. Fine. So just stay, just focus, which is very important, and enjoy this. Just feel. If you are learning these provisions, you are going to get money, your dream car, your dream future will be there. Like for next 2-3 years, you have to devote for your studies. And after 3-4 years, for next 30-40 years of your life, is going to be very relaxed. You will have money and respect. That is also very, very, very important. The last need all humans needs, that's respect, the recognition. You will have it if you complete this course. Fine. So Mr. Sagar, who retired on 1st 10th 2022, is receiving 5,000 per month as pension. So he retired on 1st October and start getting pension. So October, November, December, January, February, March. For 6 months, he's receiving pension. On 1st February, he commuted 60% of his pension and received 3 lakh rupees as commuted pension. You are required to compute his taxable pension, assuming. Okay, we will assume. Let me solve it for you. I have a question in a printed form. So it says he is a government employee. Okay, if I'll solve it on the portal, that will be really easy for you. So let me solve it over here only. Okay. Okay. So it says if he is a government employee. So for the government employee, only that pension is taxable, which is uncommuted. So he start receiving from October. He received in October 5,000 rupees. We need to solve it. He's a government employee, private, and etc. Fine. So in October, received 5,000, it is taxable. November, 5,000 taxable. December, 5,000 taxable. And January, 5,000 taxable. But in February, what he does, he just commutes some part of his pension. Out of rupees 5,000, 60% he takes as commuted value. So now from February, now you will get 40%, the balance value. What I have shown you in the example, 40% of 5,000. That means 2,000 and 2,000. Commute value is exempted for government employees. So total taxable value will be this uncommuted part, which is 24,000. So 24,000 is taxable for government employee from this question. Now, if he's a private sector employee and receive gratuity of 5 lakh. So if he's receiving gratuity, then what will happen? The exemption will be 1/3 into commuted value of whole pension. We have read it. So for other than government employee, now let me solve it in the whiteboard. So other than government employee, in government employee, we just see that is from October till January. Like for 4 months, that was 5,000 into 4, 20,000. Taxable, and because 40% for the rest month, 2 months, that is 4,000. 24,000 was taxable. And for other than government employee, now uncommuted will remain same. That is going to be taxable 24,000, of course. There will be no change. But the commuted part provision will change. Now exemption will be 1/3. But first of all, we need to calculate the commuted value. And I told you the formula, that is amount received, that is 3 lakh into 100 upon the value so commuted, that is 60. So technically, total commuted value pension is 5 lakh rupees. If you solve this formula, total pension value is 5 lakh rupees. And because he is receiving gratuity also, so now it will be exempted like this, 1/3 into, how it came 5 lakh, because he received 3 lakh rupees as 60%. So if 3 lakh is equivalent to 60%, then the total value will be 5 lakh. Exemption will be 1/3 into 5 lakh. That will come 166,667. So whatever computed value he received, out of that, exemption is 166667. Now, students do one mistake generally. When they find out the exemption amount, then in hurry, they find taxable value like this, 5 lakh was total pension minus 16667. No, this is wrong. Because taxable value universal formula is received minus exempt. And he does not receive 5 lakh. 5 lakh was the total value. It was not the amount received as computed value. Received computed value was 3 lakh. So exemption will be out of 3 lakh value what he received. So this exemption value will be deducted from the amount received, that is 3 lakh. So remaining, that is 1,33,333 is taxable for computed value. So total taxable value for pension is 157,333. Third case, it says C case, he's a private employee and does not receive gratuity. Then what will happen? In place of 1/3, we will use 1/2. Other provision will be remain same. You can see B part, it's already solved over here also. I just solved it for your, this is the value, how to find the computed value of pension. Third case, the exemption will be 2,50,000 in place of 1,66,676. So that was how we calculate pension, taxable pension or exempted pension value. That was the first part we discussed. Sorry, not first part, the first compensation we discussed. The second compensation is very important. And that is called gratuity. Gratuity word comes from the word gratitude. When we say to be grateful someone. So if you are working in an organization, you are getting monthly salary for your services. 10,000, 15,000, whatever it is. So you are getting technically salary for the work you are doing. But if you work in that organization for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and then at the time of retirement, employer want to say you thank you. He's grateful for you because you work with that organization for 15 years or 20 years. So he just want to say you thank you in a monetary way. So because you are getting salary for every month, but because of that loyalty you work for, now employer wants to say thank you. So they are technically giving you like an award, a kind of reward. Like we do when some of our maid who's working in our home for like 20 years and he left our house. And what your moms do, she gives some extra like clothes, like or some utensils or extra payment. So that is what technically, that is the exact thing of gratuity. To be grateful for something. And now to be grateful for someone is employee. And who is grateful? Employer. And whatever he is paying in a monetary way will be called a gratuity. So gratuity is technically derived from the word gratitude, or we can say grateful. This is the picture you might understand. The same thing what I explained to you. They are saying this employee render a good services. I should thank him. Just thanks. So employee wants money. So he's paying something. So that means now the thank you works and he's happy. He's dancing because he's very happy. Okay. So this is gratuity is a voluntary payment made by an employer in appreciation of services rendered by the employee. Nowadays, gratuity has become a normal payment applicable to all employees. In fact, there is an act also that is called Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. It's a statutory regulation of the concept of gratuity. Almost all employers enter into an agreement with employees to pay gratuity. Only very small level employers are not covered in this format. Otherwise, generally, all big organizations now technically pay gratuity. So earlier it was a voluntary thing, what we need to pay at the end of the service, but now it's technically a uniform statutory form, a legal form. So you have to pay certain amount of money to your employee when he retire, etc. So gratuity can be paid during the service or after the service, but any compensation if received during service, I've told you that is going to be taxable. Will be taxable for again all employee, while any gratuity paid after service like in termination, retirement or death will be exempted up to certain limit as per section 1010. So we are now moving on to section 1010. Gratuity will be exempted only if relationship of employer and employee exists, because it should be the part of salary. An exemption will be claimed only if it is a salary. And it will be a salary if there a relationship of employer and employee exists between payer and payee. Otherwise, it will not be exempted. For example, gratuity paid by LIC to its insurance agent, not employee, will not be exempted. That is going to be taxable. We have three cases in gratuity cases. We have three kind of exemption. Case A, in case of central government, member of civil services, local authority, whole amount of gratuity will be exempted. Retirement gratuity received under the pension code or regulation applicable to members of defense service also fully exempted. So you can pray to God that please frame an example of government employee in our examination. So all compensation will be exempted, because technically all compensation received by government employee almost exempted. So you need just do one thing. Gratuity, you need to write exempted. Pension, uncommitted, you need to write exempted. Leave encashment will come later, exempted. So you can pray to God. Please God, frame a question of salary in our examination of government employee. Don't worry. God is not going to listen. Never. Because it's CA, not BA. So of course, there will be question always other than government employee under salary, because under salary, there's a lot of exemption for government employees. So it will not going to happen. Right? So your prayers are waste. Do not pray like this. So now case B and C is important for your examination on numerical purpose. Case B says this is applicable for those employees who are covered by Payment of Gratuity Act. So if you are working in an organization and Payment of Gratuity Act 1972 is applicable, and in that organization, at the time of retirement, if your employer pay you gratuity of certain amount, then exemption and taxable value will be calculated as per case number B. It will be written in question that employee is covered under this act or not. If question is silent, then you will treat it as case number C, not case number B. If question is silent, you will treat that gratuity is received, but the employer is not covered by Payment of Gratuity Act. So he is paying gratuity voluntarily by his own. But if the question is, it says that Payment of Gratuity Act is applicable, then we need to find the exempted amount like this. In all salary cases, you just need to learn these provisions. All information will be given. You just need to put it into your this provisions, like case number B. Gratuity receipt will be given in question. You have to put the amount in point number 1. 20 lakh rupees is a fixed value. Fine. So you need to put it 20 lakh rupees, it's a fixed value. The third is very important. That is 15/26 into monthly salary into year of service. So you have to calculate a amount by this help of this formula. 15/26 into monthly salary into year of service denote that for every year of service, whatever you have done, like you have done 15 years of service. So whatever amount you will get. So for every year of service, whatever a 1 month salary amount, we will give you 50% of that 1 month salary as a gratuity. For example, if you worked in an organization for 20 years and you retire, then third point, technical, I'm just telling you the meaning, but for the exact calculation, you need to put this formula. What is the meaning of this point number 3? I'm just explaining it to you. So if you work in an organization for 20 years, then for every year, look, year of service, 20 years and monthly salary. So for every year, we will give you a gratuity for 1 month salary. But again, they did it 15/26. So technically, for every year of service, if you work for 20 years, then we will give you half month salary, like monthly salary into 15/26. So we can say if you work in an organization for 20 years, then you will get gratuity of 10 months salary, because 20 into 15/26. It should be 15/30, but 4 Sunday has been removed. So now it is 15/26 into monthly salary. So that means half month salary. If we solve this part separately, that means half month salary into year of service. So if you work for 20 years, that means for 10 month salary amount, almost 10 month salary amount will be coming point number 3. Do not write it like this. You have to write this formula. Value will be given. You need to put it over here and you will solve it. Minimum of out of these three is going to be exempted and balance will be taxable. Now, period of service will be rounded to 1 year in excess of 6-month job fraction. It's very important. If you work for 20 years and 4 months, then in year of service, we will take only 20. But if you work for 20 years and 7 months, then we will write 21 year, because excess of 6 months will be counted as an year. So if you work 20 year and 8 months, we will write 21 year. If 20 year and 3 months, we will write 20 years. What if 20 year and 6 months exact? It will write 20 years because of what it says, excess. So if it's 20 year and exactly 6 months, then I will write over here 20 years. Next is, what is the meaning of monthly salary? Monthly salary means basic salary of last month and includes all DA. So now it says includes all DA. DA is of two types, as per terms of employment, retirement benefit, or other. For the purpose of this calculation, in monthly salary will include all DA. In HRA, we only take DA which is as per retirement benefit, not the other one. But for this purpose, if a question is given, the DA is 2000 as per retirement benefit and 1000 other DA, then we will take over here 3000 full value of our DA. So basic salary will be last month's salary. In the month you retire, before that month, a full month basic salary and full DA we will take. No commission will be considered, only basic and DA will be included. So out of these three, whatever amount will come lowest, that is going to be exempted and balance is to be taxable. Now, gratuity C case, it's very important. You might be remembered that we discussed HRA, house rent allowance, and in that salary, it has been written as per gratuity C case. So gratuity C case have same salary definition, which is in HRA also. So over here, again, salary will be taken as basic salary, DA as per terms of retirement or employment, and percentage commission of sale. So same salary what we take in HRA will be going to take in gratuity C case. C case will be applicable if it is given that employee are not covered by Payment of Gratuity Act, or if in question it is silent. Again, minimum following will be exempted. First point is same, gratuity receipt. Second is 20 lakh, again same, but third point has been changed. Now it is 1/2. I've told you that the B case says 15/26 because it excludes 4 Sunday average in a month. But this third point technically include them. So technically it was 15/30. C case does not exclude Sunday. And we can write it like 1/2. So 1/2 comes like this, half month exact. Half month average monthly salary. Half month average monthly salary. There was monthly salary. Now you have to take average of monthly salary. And there was year of service. Now complete year of service. So all the 3 points have been changed in comparison to case number B. There was 15/26, over is 15/30. There was monthly salary, now there is average monthly salary. There was year of service, so fraction will be converted into 1 year if it is more than 6 months. Over here, is no fraction is considered. It's complete year of service will be taken. All the things have been noted in note. Note number 1, salary means only basic salary and DA as per term and percentage fixed commission. So exactly same जो HRA में we take. HRA, gratuity C case, in both cases salary is same. Now average monthly salary means average of last 10 months salary. For example, if you retired on 10th of June, then leave the June month and the preceding 10 months from June, like May, April, March, February, January, December, November, October, September, and August. These 10-month salary average you need to take. And out of these 10 months, we need to take 3 things. Basic salary of every month, DA as per term, and percentage commission. For each month, you need to take all these 3 things and you need to total it for last 10 months and divide it by 10. So you might be thinking this is very difficult. No, it's very simple. Because in question, there will be no change in 10 months of basic salary, DA, and percentage fixed commission. So if there is no change in these factor, then whether you are taking it for 1 month or you are taking average of 10 months, that will remain the same. Just say, for example, like basic salary is 20,000. DA term is 3,000. DA non-term is 1,000. Percentage commission fixed is 2,000. So we will not take this DA because it's not term. We will take this, this, and this. That is 25,000 for previous month. Now, if you retired in June, so we need to take from May till August salary. So if you will take May 25,000, then April 25,000, then last 10 months salary total will be 2,50,000. Every month is 25 divided by 10, so that will remain again 25,000. That is simple mathematics. There's nothing income tax is doing. Income tax is saying you need to do just one thing, then calculate the last 10 months salary total and divide it by 10. In most of the question, it has been given in question. Average monthly salary has been given in question. If it is not given, then they will give you the details of last 10 months salary. You need to add them and divide it by 10. So if there is no change in last 10 months, then the single month or 10-month average will always come same. Okay, so we discussed 1/2 meaning, average monthly salary meaning, and complete year of service. So if it's 20 years and 8 months, it will remain 20 years. It will 20 years or 1 month, again it will remain 20 years. So in gratuity C case, there is no fraction role in calculating complete year of service. Because the name already says completed year of service. Note number 1 and 2 we have done. Now note number 3 came. Now 3 and 4 is very interesting and very different. You have to understand it properly. And 3 and 4 is applicable for case number B and C both. Note number 1 and 2 was exclusively for case number C. Understand? But 3 and 4 is for both cases. Because this is general note. This is applicable for case number B also and case number C also. And it is very general, very normal case. It says, suppose you work with 2 employers at the same time. You have 2 part-time jobs. You are working with 2 employers at the same time. And you retired from the organization in the same year, both organizations in the same year. And they both pay you gratuity also. Now the provision says you will do the separate calculation for both the employers separately. Might be the both belongs to B case. You have to calculate B case separately for both employer. Or C case. So you have to calculate for both employers separately, or one from B case employer or one is C case employer. So you need to calculate the same provision. But the limit of 20 lakh will not be 40. It will remain only 20 lakh rupees. Now the confusion will create how it will happen. We need to put it 20 lakh over here and 20 there. Then it will be automatically 40 benefit you are taking. So you will do the separate calculation, but if you in one employer case, you will write it down 20 lakh and the other also you write it down 20 lakh. Then technically you are giving benefit of 40 lakh. So the note 3 says, if an individual getting gratuity from 2 employers at same time, then separate calculation will be made, but the limit of 20 lakh will be jointly remain rupees 20 lakh. How you need to calculate? Let me tell you. If you are receiving employer 1 and employer 2. One is B case and C case. You retired in previous year 22-23 from both employer in the same year. Gratuity receipt, for example, I am taking 6 lakh rupees from this employer. And gratuity receipt from this is 8 lakh. So for in the formula of the first point is gratuity receipt, we will write this. Second is 20 lakh. We will skip it. Do not consider 20 lakh individually in B and C. That will create a problem. Answer will be wrong. Directly we will solve the third point with the formula. This is like 15/26 formula, and I am just taking the final figure. I am assuming the final figure is coming, in this case is 5 lakh, and in this case is 6 lakh. 1/2 formula. This is a final figure. Now what we need to do, we need to find the separate exemption. In this case, 5 lakh is lowest. In this case, 6 lakh, sorry. We need to join all these. Total received is 14 lakh. Total is 11 lakh. And total now limit will be 20 lakh rupees. So now the minimum will be exempt like this. 11 lakh is exempt, and 14 minus 11, 3 lakh is taxable. So you need to do it like this. So do not write 20 and 20. First of all, solve the question assuming there is no fixed limit. Solve the question assuming there is no fixed limit. 20 lakh is applicable. Solve the question normally. Whenever you find the final figure, add them. Gratuity receipt total is 14 lakh. Exemption limit is 11 lakh. Now, in the final figure, you can write gratuity exemption value is 20 lakh. So, whatever will come, that will be your answer. That is note number 3 is same. After the example, after the gratuity provision, I will take your queries. So, just be patient. Now, note number 4 is also a different case. Note number 4 is again talking about a special scenario. It says, for example, Mr. A retired in 2016 and get a gratuity of 6 lakh. This is a separate thing. It does not have anything to do with this. Fine, forget it. The next example. In 2016, Mr. A retired from an organization and received 6 lakh rupees, and exemption was 5 lakh. So taxable value for that year is 1 lakh. So we have done the formula part, etc. After that, I'm just telling you the receipt was 6 lakh, exempted was 5 lakh. Out of the 3, lowest was exempted was 5 lakh. So taxable was 1 lakh. Now what is happening? Mr. A also retired from one other job. In this example, he was retiring in the same year. Now we are saying, suppose if somebody has received gratuity in earlier year also and claimed exemption of some amount, and now in another organization he joined and retired in the current previous year, 22-23, and received gratuity received again 10 lakh rupees. Now it says that the limit of 20 lakh will not be considered because he have already exempted 5 lakh rupees in earlier year. So if any employee have received gratuity exemption in earlier year, then when he received the gratuity again, then the exempted he claimed in earlier year will be reduced from the fixed government value. So because he have exempted his gratuity of 5 lakh rupees in 2016. So now when he'll receive gratuity in 2022, then out of the fixed limit, 5 lakh will be reduced. So now the fixed limit will be for calculation is 15 lakh. So 10 lakh, 15 lakh, or the formula value, whatever it will come. For example, it is 7 lakh. Formula value is 7 lakh. Then lowest will be exempted. So 7 lakh again exempted. So for example, suppose in 2030 in future, now if retired from some another organization and get gratuity, then the fixed 20 lakh value again 5 lakh once exempted and 7 lakh again exempted. Then only 7 lakh will be taken for the fixed exempted value for the calculation. So note number 3 and 4 both talk about the exemption limit of 20 lakh. 3 says if you are retiring in the same year from more than one organization, then the limit of 20 lakh will be considered jointly. So first you need to calculate the whole process, then you will compare it with 20 lakh rupees jointly. And if you have already received, if an individual received gratuity in earlier year, then the limit of 20 lakh will be reduced by the amount of gratuity exempted from tax in earlier year. The moral of the story, the moral of this note number 3 and 4 is same. that total 20 lakh rupees fixed exemption is there, you cannot claim it twice, or you cannot set off, or you cannot claim in the same year with separate employer. So this is a fixed limit. It cannot be increased in any way. Okay. So fees, commission, perquisite, etc. that will come in perquisite section. The advanced salary concept we have already discussed. So now the leave encashment topic will come. There's another compensation. We have discussed about the pension. We have discussed about the gratuity. And now this is the leave encashment. What it is, we will discuss later. First of all, let me take the query session. Okay. So the query, okay, discuss later. Okay, ये हो गया था. Mohammed Vora is saying, why, sir? Mohammed Vora, I don't know for which question you is saying why, sir. Please send me again, so I'll tell you what is the meaning of why, sir. Abhishek Pandey is saying, sir, in the HRA, please explain DA terms. So whenever you join a job, then your employer tell you that DA, what percentage of DA will form for your retirement benefit. When you will retire, then what DA you can have. So that is the DA, what we call the DA as per terms of retirement. It will be given in question. Fine. So those DA, which is technically communicated to you at the time of joining of your job, and it will be communicated to you that these DA will form part of your retirement benefit. That will be the DA as per terms of employment or for retirement benefits, and it will be given in question. Okay. Next, in case of minor salary, all allowances will be get or not. It depends upon your employer. Who is asking is Sobhagya Sani. It depends upon employer. I cannot tell you that you are going to get all allowances or not. It depends upon your employer, where you are going to join, and about his policy. Right? In examination, we just need to do one thing. We need to find taxable value and exempted value of each thing, like basic salary, allowances, perquisite. We just need to find how much is going to be taxable value or exempted value. Okay, next is, I have uploaded the notes. Why you are not getting it? Why you are asking me again? So anybody can message me from where you download the note, because some students are asking, sir, we are not able to find the notes. And some is saying, sir, we have found out. So if somebody has found out the notes, kindly message me over here. So I'll tell those students who are not able to find, because I have already uploaded it. Okay. Which examples are you taking? Kavita was asking. So I just taken the example from your study. So that will be really easy for you to revise it. Okay, next is प्लीज एन्यूटी को हिंदी में समराइज. एन्यूटी मतलब होता है, मिस ज्योति आस्किंग, एन्यूटी को हिंदी में समराइज करिए. आई कैन ओनली आस्क गिव द इन आंसर इन हिंदी फॉर योर प्रॉब्लम्स. यू कैन नॉट आस्क मी फॉर एक्सप्लेनेशन हिंदी, बट मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. एन्यूटी का मतलब होता है वार्षिक मिलने वाला पेमेंट. वार्षिक मिलने वाला, जो वार्षिक आप जमा करते हैं फिर आपको लमसम में कहीं से मिलता है, तो एन्यूटी वर्ड का मतलब होता है वार्षिक. एंड यू कैन डू वन थिंग, यू कैन सर्च इन गूगल ऑल्सो, because that is not a part of our income tax syllabus. Okay. I'll again upload it if you're not able to find it, but I've already uploaded. I don't know why you're asking for notes. Priyanka is also asking for notes. Okay, Shruti is asking, sir, uncommitted pension like salary is full and uncommitted pension is half salary. Uncommitted pension means periodical payment. It cannot be compared with your normal basic salary, because normal basic salary is received when you are serving, when you are in the job, and pension uncommitted value will be received after retirement. So this is before retirement is called salary, basic salary, etc. And after retirement, we will say technically it like a pension. Okay, next is gratuity का कुछ भी नहीं हो. Gratuity, Kavita is asking in pension example, she is asking gratuity का कुछ नहीं होगा. Gratuity का तब होगा कविता जब हम gratuity की कैलकुलेशन एग्जामिनर पूछेगा. अगर सिर्फ पेंशन की पूछा है तो हम सिर्फ पेंशन का सॉल्यूशन देंगे, बट ग्रेचुटी का कैसे होगा अभी हमने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया है. तो अगर ग्रेचुटी का भी पूछा है टैक्सेबिलिटी तो वो इस तरह से होगी, बट ग्रेचुटी मिलने से पेंशन की एग्जेम्पशन पे फर्क पड़ता है, बट ग्रेचुटी पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ग्रेचुटी कैलकुलेशन वैसे होगी जैसे अभी हमने सीखी. Okay, Kavita is asking CA का भी retirement होता है क्या? If CA is in practice, there is no retirement, but अगर CA job में है, then of course there can be retirement norms can be applicable. Kavita, do not ask this kind of question. 15/26 ही क्यों करते हैं? हम सीए क्यों करते हैं? आसमान ऊपर क्यों है? जमीन नीचे क्यों है? ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा क्यों है? Do not ask these kind of question. It's a formula. You have to learn it. Like you ask if 2,50,000 की ही बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन क्यों है? 3 लाख की बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन सिटीजन के लिए क्यों है? 60 साल के बाद ही किसी को सिटीजन क्यों मानते हैं? Don't do this. Please, I request. Please ask question which is relevant. That show how sincere you are for studies. That's called out of focus. Don't go out of focus. Just be focused. Okay. Next. So last case में starting का एक बार repeat कर दीजिए. Please आप वीडियो को scroll back कीजिए. निशा, you will find out whatever you want to read. Okay. I'll take a question on gratuity also, the Anish Shingle, of course, if possible today, or if not possible today, I'll take a gratuity example also. Come on, next session, okay? Just wait, I'll do everything. Okay, Just Shah sent me that it's an ICAI Board of Study app. You can download it from here, live classes. ICAI Board of Study app, you should go to ICAI Board of Study app, live classes, and there is downloaded notes option. You can download it from there. So those are asking where is notes, please do it and you will find out the notes. Okay, Mr. Mohammed with Bohra is asking, sir, वो perquisite value of car को थोड़ा summarize कर दो, please. Mr. Bohra, we will do it. When the perquisite section will come, I'll explain the car perquisite also. So just have patience. I'm there. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to solve each and everything. Do not worry. Just stay with me. Just follow what I'm saying. I'll explain the car, rent-free house, and everything. Okay. So I have answered your question, Mr. Vora. So there is, I guess, no more query yet. Okay, so time is 9, almost 50. So give me 5 minutes more. I'll explain you, or we can do gratuity question also. I'm not taking MCQ today because today you need to revise these provision. In the next session, in the starting part, I will take the MCQ questions on this part. That will be really good because today you just learn about it. If I'll ask you MCQ, you might not be able to solve it. So you have the time to revise these provisions, learn these provisions, so that in the MCQ session, you might be more interactive, you might be more interested because you know how to solve it. And I need to see how much of you are sincere. Join it at the right time. In the starting session, 7 a.m. on, I guess, Tuesday now my class is. So in the starting session, I'll start taking MCQ test. And that is to show you sincerity, how sincere you are for your studies. The more sincere you will, the more better it's for your future. So we are here to guide you. We are over here to help you. Institute is doing a wonderful job. Actually, they are providing to the students who actually want the guidance, but not able to due to some personal reason or might be financial reason. So Institute is working so hard for you. So you should also feel the sincerity. Do not join after 15 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It shows that you are not interested in your future. So please join at time or before time. It will be a really good habit. Just make a discipline. Just try to be disciplined. It's a very good habit. Without discipline, we all are animals. So because we are human, and you are also pursuing a profession which is full of deadlines and disciplines and etc. So you should start feeling that you're not a student. You are a CA course student. You are not just an ordinary student like BCom students or BA students or any other course. You are a student of ICAI. You are a student of CA course. That means something. When somebody will ask you what you do and you say, I am pursuing CA, the other person reaction is like, oh, that means understand the weightage of this word. When you say, I am doing CA, that is again a very hard work because for going in the journey, that needs a lot of courage. So that imagine when you will be a complete CA, what impact will the person have about you? So we are in this a profession which is ultimately powerful. It gives you everything what you need with respect also. So you should respect your profession. You should respect your study. You should respect your faculty, your institute. So please be on time, follow the guidelines. It's not that difficult. Nothing is difficult in this world. Nothing is difficult. I'm telling you. If you will have a bad guidance, if somebody is going to teach you gratuity or pension in a bad manner, you will feel it's very difficult. But the correct person is teaching you with the correct process. You will feel it's so easy. Pension is so easy. Gratuity is so easy. Everything is easy in this world. You have to create an interest. Understand? The way I told you, how you can create your interest in the study. Always remember it. Okay, so, okay. Now we can solve the question of gratuity and then we will wind up our classes. So I am going to take a gratuity example that is in our page number 4.28. This is our gratuity example. Mr. Ravi retired on 15/6/2022 after completion of 26 year and 8 months of service and received gratuity of 15 lakh. At the time of retirement, his salary was basic salary 50,000 per month, DNS allowance 10,000 per month. And now you can see in examination, it will be given like this, 60% of which is for retirement benefits. So 6,000 out of 10,000 will be considered for C case calculation of gratuity. Fine. And for B case calculation, full value will be taken because it's 10,000 and all DA will be considered for B cases. Commission is 1% of turnover. That is percentage based on turnover. And turnover is given in question is, I guess, 1 crore 20 lakh rupees. So that is 1% is 12 lakh rupees. And because last 12 months is 1% 12 lakh, you can 1 lakh rupees per month. It's technically what we have. Bonus is 25,000 per annum. So now it's asking, calculate his taxable gratuity. He is a private sector employee and covered by the Payment of Gratuity Act. So somebody is covered by Payment of Gratuity Act. That means case number B. So what we will do in case number B, we take the amount received, which is 15 lakh rupees. Point number 2 is fixed, that is 20 lakh rupees. Third is 15/26, 15/26 into monthly salary. What is the definition of monthly salary in case number B? It says basic salary and DA. So basic is 50 and we will take all DA. It has been written all DA. That is 60,000 multiplied by year of service. What is the definition of year of service? That is year, and if 6 months more fraction, it will be considered as a full year. So 26 year and 8 months. So I will take 27. Here is the formula. You just need to put it into a formula and it's over. It is this simple. Numericals are very simple. Because if you remember the correct formula, all the other information is given in question. You need to put it. So you can see gratuity receipt first point is 15 lakh rupees. Limit is 20 lakh rupees. Now this is 15/26 into last drawn salary, that is 15 plus 10, 60,000 into 27. So that amount will come 934,615. I do not need to calculate it because it's very simple. You just need to know how to put the value in the formula. And then the process begins. You have a calculator, you can calculate it. So lowest will be 934,615. We have received 15 lakh, out of which 934,615 is exempted. So taxable is 565,385. B case has been solved. Now it says assume C case, government employee, fully exempt. The B case is important. It says not covered. So now we move on to C case. C case is for gratuity if not covered by. So first point will be same, 15 lakh. Second is again same, 20 lakh. Now the formula will change. Formula says 1/2. Year of service is 26 because fraction will be ignored. Now how to calculate average monthly salary? Let me show you how. So I am solving C case for you, which is technically B case of question, but as per gratuity C case. So B part says of question that assume he is not covered. So in first point, that is 15 lakh amount received value. There is no issue in this. It's simple. Second is 20 lakh rupees. Again, no issue. Third provision says, the formula says 1/2 into average monthly salary into complete year of service. So I have year of service is 26, done. 1 by 2 into AMS into 26. So now we just need to calculate average monthly salary. That's it. Average monthly salary has 3 components. Basic salary we need for last 10 months. DA, as per terms of employment, basic salary is given in question is 50,000. DA was 10, but for retirement benefit is 6,000. Clear? And percentage commission on sale, that is almost 1 lakh rupees per month, as given in question. So now we need to calculate AMS, and it's very simple. It's 56,000 and 1 lakh. So 1 lakh 56,000 into 10 and divided by 10. So that will come whatever value. If you'll solve it, it will be 8,58,000. Out of these three, this is lowest. So this is exempted. And 15 lakh minus this exempted value will be your taxable value, which is 6,42,000. So this is gratuity case number C. So I hope it is clear for everyone. So we have completed today the introduction part of salary, the interest, how to create interest in your studies, of course, the allowances part. In compensation, we have done the main compensation, pension, and then gratuity. One very more important yet to come is leave salary or leave encashment, which is waiting for you for your next session. So please, it's my advice. Please, I always wrote at the end of my notes, this advice. I hope you'll get this. Revise twice. That's my advice to make you wise, because revision makes your provision very strong. If you revise anything twice, that will really going to be very helpful in the examination, in the test, in whatever you think. So please do study good, and please take care of yourself. If there any query, let me see. If any query has been left, you can send me later or the next session. I'll answer you. Do not worry. Right? Okay. How Mahima Maurya, how we can contact you after class? You cannot contact me after class. Okay. Next is okay. So I guess I've done for today. So now we will have our next class on Tuesday. Till that, it's a request. Please go through the notes, revise it. It will really help for you. All the best. Good day, and see you soon.